Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Woo! Dungeons and Dragons. We're prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep,
Mhm.
definitely.
Every
I
time.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
I just wish it would work. I wish it would work consistently, and it doesn't, and I don't know why. But anyway. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm moving my windows around. I'm in the right place now. Let's play some Dungeons and Dragons. Welcome back to HBA episode a billion.
Pretty much.
we're gonna play some Dungeons and Dragons now. Last time we played was a clusterfuck of more fighting. We had a bit of a mixed start, where we did a little bit of a one-shot elsewhere, but that doesn't matter anymore because we're back on track. We're back playing a normal game. You guys had a big old tussle. You managed to defeat Priestess Code. She, we made a couple of deductions about what was going on there after hearing some of the extremely accurate and excellent dialogue that I never messed up, not even once, and continually, readily, and appropriately kept saying as the combat was going on, as we are now trying to implement more speaking in our combats. Priestess Code and her lackeys, her disciples, very clearly had something against religion. It's kind of hard to pinpoint precisely what it is. There's one thing you could absolutely be 100% certain of, is that they really didn't like Nurali. Nurali specifically. It's not like they seemingly had a problem with just the concept of religion or religious people, it was Nurali. Now, you guys had previously done a little bit of digging into some deep lore in the library near Arabelle, the Liber Amans monastery, and found out a little bit of stuff about maybe people thinking that Aasimar could be a good target, maybe even requiring specific weaponry to deal with them. And that maybe is what happened, perhaps. Nurali got stabbed with something very sharp that did a shit ton of damage in one go. And then Priestess Code and her friends seemingly were just like, maybe we can be chill to the rest of you guys. We're just gonna go. And you guys were like, nope, that's not okay. Hearing the screams downstairs where Nurali was bleeding out, poisoned and paralyzed, healed only by her friend.
Poisoned.
Not
But
poisoned,
definitely
just paralyzed.
paralyzed.
And a big combat ensued in which there were many cone of colds cast around the place, damaging, just about everything, as cone of cold tends to do, and almost killing several of our party members several times over. In fact, I think Randall went down how many times in the last game?
It was like a Jack in the Box.
It was a lot. It was
Or a yo-yo? Well, I don't know. What's the big thing that goes up and down?
A yo-yo is probably more accurate.
Yeah, yo-yo.
The best part
Especially
about it
because
was
you're so
that.
fast.
And there was a moment where Nurali was like, "Oh, I'm gonna heal. Oh wait, no, I can't. I'm gonna have to undo all this." And we went back in time, and then going back in time meant Randall went down again because we had to undo some healing. But then came back up again.
Oh yeah, forgot about the
Randall
time wang down.
There was time wang.
I forgot there was difficult terrain. But Randall gets knocked down and he gets back up again.
He really does. He really does.
Ain't ever gonna keep him down.
No.
And we finally managed to resolve our combat. At the end of it, Priestess Code, falling to the ground, dying, sputtering out, said, "You will all be forgotten." And whilst you had the opportunity to talk to Maven, that was fleeting because Maven got fucking giga-murdered by one bolt from Oro. Giga-murdered. They went from, I described them as looking pretty okay to dead in one attack. So we didn't get to do much chatting, but that was never really. No one ever really said, "Oh, let's try and talk to anybody," because that's not really something. That's not really a tactic that this party has ever employed. No one ever.
Wait, that's
really
the thing you
said...
can do in D&D?
I tried talking before. I tried to.
Oh no,
stop the
before
combat
yes,
before
you
it
did. You
started.
did. To be fair, you did in proper haiku fashion, completely telegraph the entirety of the beginning of that combat,
I'm
and
not
I
a liar.
respect that. Brilliant. Now, throughout the session, Haiku was using something that they lovingly referred to as the grapple bang, in which they grapple the target and then had advantage on their next shot. We've checked the footage. I've gone over the rules as raw, and that's not a thing. However, it is a thing if you have the grappler feat, which you do not. I'd like to give you the opportunity, since we've just come out of downtime time, to have a bit of a think about this, Jack. What do you want to do? Do you want to maybe swap out an old feat that you've not been using in a while? Pick up grappler? Because then you can keep the grapple bang.
Yes. I wish I had put a little bit more thought into this before the session started, I'll be honest with you.
It is a little
Actually,
bit...
I don't really have any other feats that I can give up.
No?
No, most of them are like inbuilt class ones.
But have
I
you
very rarely go
observant
for
one?
feats. Yeah, but then I drop down to only a +4 in modifier.
Sure.
I'll take it at some future point. I'm
I mean,
fine.
I'm willing, because as we discussed a little bit briefly before, I'm willing to give you the feat. Because I think if we incorporated it in part of your downtime, I don't think the feat is so OP that you having it is going to be absurd.
Yeah.
But maybe it just needs to be that we try and incorporate somehow Haiku getting this fondness of the grapple bang as how you start to pick this up. It's this in the same vein as Oro trained and picked up herbalism.
Okay. Yeah, I can go with that. Fondness for it. Oh yeah. Well, we're traveling.
Oh no. Oh no.
Wait, are we muted as well, or is it just Jenny?
That work? My OBS was just like, we're gonna not link to the same thing we've linked to every other time you've streamed for the rest of time. Thank you, Rain.
OBS has been on one lately. Every single time I open it, it has messed something up. One of my sources is broken. It's decided to switch my audio source. It's decided to switch my mic. I'm like, stop getting sentience. Stay where I put you.
Okay. So we can roll with that. Yeah, I don't think it's that OP of a feat to have on you.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
I think it's interesting. It's got some interesting mechanics because you can technically like pin people down.
I mean, I do have to get right up to him, and Haiku isn't the tankiest of turtles.
Yeah, my thinking is that it's maybe not always optimal for you to be doing this kind of stuff as your particular class.
Yeah,
but it also gives you some more options, and I think I'm okay with that.
Okay,
I'm okay with that. Maybe we'll have a chat about it in between sessions and determine whether or not you get the full feat, or maybe you get like just a part of it because you haven't invested a full like thing in it.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
You just get the grapple advantage instead of maybe the pin as well. We'll have a chat about it.
Yeah, the pin feels quite a lot.
Well, it's good, but it's like maybe it's worth a full feat and not me just giving it to you because I fancy it. I don't want to. As happy as I am to throw in some homebrew wang into our games, I don't want to like significantly unbalance everything because I gave you a cool item or a cool feat or something, just because I thought it might be neat for your character. But I think giving you a feat like that's not that big of a deal. If it gives you some more options and facilitates you in having some more fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So last session we finished that combat after the grapple bang was achieved. Several the context of the wang. Yeah, I guess you just
Wang
wang
is
in
just error or recklessness. You know?
Honestly,
Yeah.
this tracks actually. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
there.
Like-
Also,
Yeah,
there's
that
number
works.
wang.
Number Wang. Like time Wang is when like, you know, the timeline goes wrong. But then you've
Mhm.
got your typical Wang.
Typical way.
Penis.
Yeah, yeah. I don't
Mhm.
want to.
Your normal
I don't want
wang.
to say that word on someone else's channel.
Keep
You're
it
right. You're right.
Strange line in the sand, but sure.
So as you would describe the having to undo that turn, that would be a time wang.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Anyway, it's definitely a thing. Anyway, so you guys killed the baddies. I had a bit of a debate about what the fuck was going on there, and Lavender Crestfellow came out from, the basement essentially of her own tavern and was like, "Fucking hell, guys, this is fucked up."
Oopsie whoopsie.
In addition to the place being quite trashed, she also made it quite clear that weapons are not really allowed in towns in Cormier. It's against the law, and this whole endeavor is a symptom of housing adventurers for a long time. You tend to attract problems, and she made it clear that the month of housing you guys at a discounted rate was maybe the limit of her patience, or her limit of her generosity, as I would say. At no point did she seem like she was like angry at you as such. It was more like, this is my limit. We've met my boundary that I've set. I'm not willing to go any further. And you guys, half of the party was like, "That's fair. This is a lot. I'm happy to throw a couple coins your way to cover some of the damages." Some of you were a bit more like, "This bitch."
No, I think what happened is we at the time we glazed over it quite quickly because I think Randall was like, "I'll give us some money," and Nero was like, "I'll give us some money," and me and Haiku were like, "What is happening?" And then we moved on to something. We didn't get to fully complete that thought.
Sure.
And Oro is a little bit like, what the fuck? Like, Oro has been here the longest and has had no problems and probably, I assume, built up quite a rapport with her and is just a bit miffed at how she's talking to her.
That's fair.
So she likes her, but is like, what the fuck? Like, someone could have died, like, Nerly could have died here and I would have set this place on fire. She'll be thankful it's not on fire.
I think Haiku's probably like in a similar mindset because they've like done a lot of fixing and helping out around the place. And for them to turn around, after we potentially saved her life as well as Neurali's, to be like that is a bit of a kick in the teeth.
Sure. Okay. Well, there's a very mixed response, as you can see. That's the best way to design your NPCs. Stick them right in the middle of the party. Make sure there's no agreement on how to treat them. And we ended the session with you guys thinking about somehow investing in the Blushing Kiss Inn.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So that we could do a whole mini game where each week we come back and something has happened at the inn, and we regale you in the chat with what happened at the inn that week. And that hasn't really progressed anywhere because I've been thinking about it for a while. I know Jenny did some work on it as well, trying to think of some stuff for it. I think it's a cool idea, but it hasn't come to fruition yet. So I'm going to ask you right here and now, is that something you want to pursue? Do you guys want to throw some money down, have a small source of ongoing income, be silent investors in the Blushing Kiss? I'm willing and able to do this, but I'm not going to put some work in if you guys are like, nah, it was just a whatever.
Island investors?
Well,
local investors?
I think the plan was to be silent investors because currently there are some people that are trying to kill Nerly.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, she doesn't really feel like she's done a whole lot worth being hunted down, but there just seems to be a lot of people willing to do that about her, and yeah.
I mean, I think it would be a fun little thing. I don't want you to have to put like a lot of work into it, and it for it to be like a full-time, like not full-time, but like a big deal. But I think it'd be a fun thing to like get chat involved in it and like have little like NPC like moments of the inn and reports.
I was thinking if maybe we like have a rotating thing where like we each take a turn each week to think about one thing that happened.
Love it.
So,
absolutely love it.
I do one week, then Jenny does the next one, then Katie, then Docs.
Absolutely love it. Fully behind that. I think that's a brilliant idea. Okay, well then let's talk money.
Okay.
How much you guys throwing into
One gold piece.
I will. If you guys want to invest, set an amount that you want to put into it, and that will reflect how much money you get back per session. Rather than being like in-game week, I'm just gonna be like you get some. It's gonna be not a huge amount, but
yeah. So
you'll essentially get free bed and board here whenever you're here and whatever.
Okay. What's like an average amount that you're thinking people should put?
So buying an inn outright would be about 5,000 gold.
So less than that.
Yeah, not today.
But if you wanted to like invest, and I don't want to get too numerical or financial about this, because as Grace appropriately said previously, we play RPGs to escape capitalism, not participate in it. Yes. I think this is producing a fun mini game. That's not us endorsing capitalism. That's just we're making fun. We're making fun for ourselves. So you guys set an amount that you're willing to invest. Take that out of your bank. Tell me what it is, and that will represent how much money you get back in a given session.
What if we each invest 12.5%, so we have 50% of the inn?
Oh,
math.
How much money do you have? Bring up the ledger.
It is open.
So technically, Lavender didn't own this place until Sirshifa fucked off. So there's nothing really in paper saying that she owns it, apart from the fact that she's the one that's here all the time and runs the thing.
So we have in the ledger 5,915 gold between all of us.
Oh, that's more than I expected.
That's one whole inn.
Have you factored in interest there, Docs? We were away for a full year in the Feywild.
I don't think that the bag of holding pays interest.
Damn, so close.
Yeah, ISA bag of
holding. Or it does. It's all in Sprouts.
Oh, you're right. That makes sense.
Oh my god, that's why our Sprouts are unlimited, is purely from the gold we have sitting around in there.
That's
periodically just takes 100 gold out, which is spent on Sprouts.
the true cursed bank account. You have like a 10% interest rate, but it's all in Sprouts.
Okay.
But you'd also maybe never have to buy food again, depending upon.
Depends on how you feel about Brussels sprouts.
I don't think you could live on just Sprouts.
I don't know. And I think you do okay.
So how much is the percentage of half for each of us, Jack? Or anyone who can
It's
math
625 gold each for 12.5% stake each.
Yes.
Which would be 50% of the inn.
Which
is not quite the controlling stake, so we could go slightly higher than that. Then we have overall the controlling stake.
Well,
want to get into,
what happens if we just each throw one more gold onto that, so we invest 626 gold?
I don't know.
Listen, I want a decision about this pretty quick because I want to move on. I don't care about numbers that much.
So the only thing that's making me go, is like, okay, we could invest all this money, but we're just giving it to the person who doesn't also technically even own it in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but also this isn't modern society. No one really gives a fuck about who owns what.
Okay.
What are we even investing
I was like,
in?
is this gonna come back? Is this gonna come back later?
Yes, this is all stupid, dogs.
Yes, it is. I'm down. I'm down for whatever the group wants to do.
Let's do it then.
Cool, sugar. It's done. Money's
Yeah, do
gone.
it.
The fake
Take it out of the
currency to
ledger.
generate fake cool things that will happen.
It's fake
we
money,
shouldn't be
fake
struggling over it this
capitalism.
much. Yeah,
You're
I
just
know.
having some, we're making a fun mini game. Money's
the minigame
gone.
might be you've been scammed.
Yeah.
The capitalism trauma has us thinking way too hard about how we're
Yeah.
spending our fake currency,
Next,
right? So
next session is you hear nothing from the blushing kiss. Lavender is
fades
gone.
away.
Lavender is gone with all your money.
turns out you got stuck in a timeshare debacle somehow.
No, we're just helping a small business get off the starting line. That's all.
Yeah.
There we go.
I've struggled a little bit since disappeared.
Mm.
They were struggling while Saoirse was there because she wasn't really properly running the place. She was just essentially drugging a bunch of people into making them happy.
Yeah, quite bad.
Probably good for business though.
Pretty bad.
Hey, they're spending.
Oh my god.
Okay, right. I'm assuming that's getting sorted, and we
It's
don't have to
sorted.
talk about money anymore. Fantastic. Well, you guys leave Deadlock, unless you immediately think of something you definitely want to do in Deadlock. Feeling pretty chuffed with yourselves. You made an investment. You've got a place to come back to in the middle. Like you can teleport to Deadlock. You've got somewhere to stay. It's not going to cost you any additional money at the very least. And we get some fun minigame stuff. You know, you've invested in your futures, sort of.
Wow.
Yay.
Invested in fun.
And not acknowledges escaping capitalism adds so much capitalism. Right, it's not. We're moving on from the capitalism, and we're on the Rangers way. Why are we on the
This
Rangers way?
isn't about the money we're investing or how much we might get back. It's about the memories we're gonna make.
It's about the memories. It's about the memories.
You're right.
It's about the fun of having a mini game where we have to have some person come up with something that happened at the inn every week, and I'm excited about that. I love the idea that that's essentially something I could have just got. We could have just had that be a thing. Like you don't have to have spent money. That could have just been a thing. But every week we come up with something that happened at the Blushing Kiss. But here we are.
So you think we can have fun for free?
That's right. I mean, technically, this is still free because at no point have you spent real money on buying a fake inn.
You guys didn't have to buy your game currency.
I should be charging for these games.
My loot
Doctor Jones
boxes.
bought the ultimate edition of D&D.
It's the DLC, the mini game. Right. Okay. Good point, Grace. We actually do have a prompt for today's session because we're going to be on the road. We're going to be on the road, and I love a bit of a road trip because it means I get to ask my players, what is one conversation that you have with another member of the party whilst you are on the road? So, we're going to be on the Rangers Way. Tell me, players, why are we on the Rangers Way? You can see here it's between Deadlock and Weymouth. For what purpose are we on this road? I feel like I'm leading a class. I'm in one of my
We're heading
lectures.
to Weymouth
Why are we heading to Weymouth?
because that's where we were supposed to go to meet the Purple Dragon Knights, maybe about the dragon, and I think the speedrun thing was there too.
Excellent
That's
answer.
all
A
Who
plus.
cares about right now?
Because that's where the DM told us to go.
Listen, I'm going to railroad you if I want to railroad you, okay? You're around, you're playing a free game of D&D. I'm in DM, we're going where I want to go. Suddenly, we're in the astral plane. Oh, look at that, I can do whatever
man.
I can
Stay
fly.
wild. Anywhere but stay wild.
I also, earlier on today, went through the prompt spreadsheet and removed some of the ones that I was like, oh god, this is way too hard for us to use, and put them into a different tab. So I've got a tab full of questions that we've used, a tab full of questions that were quite similar to another question that someone else has asked, a tab full of questions that are too difficult for us to really get, like, they're like maybe a little bit too niche, like one person would have a good answer for it, but everyone else would be a bit there like, I don't know what the fuck to say to this. And that's pretty much what we've got. We've got a load of prompts. We are extremely blessed to have been to have so many. There's one fly just next to me spinning in circles.
You could say we've been graced with prompts.
Oh my god. Shit.
That's good. We have been graced with prompts, and they're all so good. Some of them are harder to use than others, but for the most part, they're all brilliant. And I've highlighted the ones that are like a little bit easier for us to use, so that I can kind of just scan them before our sessions, rather than having to spend 20 minutes staring at an overwhelming list and having executive dysfunction. Just no, it's too many. Thanks very much, guys, for everyone who's been contributing them. I point directly at Grace, but there are many people who have contributed in the past, and they are all brilliant. Unfortunately, them being brilliant doesn't necessarily always mean that they're perfect for our specific party. I'm usually pretty good at judging whether a question will be good for you guys, but sometimes I'll put it past you before the game session and be like, "How about this one?" And we'll be like, "No, I don't have anything fun to say about that." And I try my best to make sure everyone has something to say about the prompts. So it's a toughie sometimes, but we do appreciate it regardless. Okay. So that'll be our prompt later on today. But before we get to that prompt, you guys are on the road. You're moving from Deadlock to Weymouth for a number of different reasons. Haiku, in particular, is interested in the rumor that you've just heard from Lavender Crestfellow that the speedrunning tournament has recently opened up and moved to Weymouth. It was something that you'd been shown a little bit of interest in before, but the way of adventuring swept you up and you couldn't get involved in last year's games. So the annual tournament seems like a fun thing for you guys to maybe explore. You know there's a fairly decent reward for completing it, in what seems like a lot of money and merchandise that's made after your characters. Quite neat. Additionally, when you were here a year ago, you were actually moving this direction because you'd seen that the Purple Dragon Knights were recruiting adventurers in a sort of not a speed run, but like a fast track into the Purple Dragon Knights, like upper echelons almost. If you came here and helped them kill a dragon that had been terrorizing the place, then you would essentially be in their good books, and they could hire you if you fancied being employed by them. And being in the good books of the Purple Dragon Knights, who are the reigning law, essentially, in the entire nation that you're currently in, is a pretty good place to be. Also, killing a dragon sounds sick, and dragons tend to come with a lot of loot. So, all good all around. Now, it's been a year.
Your parent. And
they might also be your parent, who knows? Now, it's been a year since the last time that you guys were on the mission to kill said dragon, and you've not really had an opportunity to ask anybody about whether or not that happened, whether or not actually that dragon's already been dealt with. Because it seemed to be that the Purple Dragon Knights were trying to organize a large group to go off and kill said dragon. Now, we're on the road.
On the road again.
Right.
And just wait to get back on the road again.
Now, we are on the road. We're leaving Deadlock and we're on the Ranger's Way. For the most part, you guys this is the first time you've been on the road for a couple, like a month or so. You guys have been, off in your different ways, and you've not been back together as a group. It's comfortable, is what it is. It feels like this is you guys, This is how you spend your time for the most part, is on the road, traveling together, going from A to Z. It's nice because this is the first time you've been in as a group, walking together in a place that had proper roads for a year, that wasn't under constantly shifting and changing environments, and whilst there is also a day and night cycle. That's nice.
Lovely.
We really take that for granted.
And as you are, it's about a day's travel. So you leave in the morning and you expect to arrive there in the evening. But as you might expect, you bump into some colourful folks on the road. The first is a teenage boy, late teens, who has a rapier tucked into his belt. He doesn't have a scabbard or anything for it. He's tucked there in his belt. And he's pacing back and forth. He's got short hair that's kind of in a bun. It's blonde and a bit dirty, but you can see that he's wearing like a like a white blouse shirt almost, and like it's just like pacing up and down in leather trousers. As you guys come a little bit closer.
Inspired. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry?
Is this Lies of P inspired?
Oh my god, it might as well be. Let's just say it's Timothy Chalamet is here, fucking walking up and down. And he pauses and he looks at you guys, and you guys are maybe 60 feet away. He's just pacing up and down, backwards and forth, and he sees you guys in the road, and he brings out his blade and he starts stabbing it in the air. He looks like he's practicing.
Even though we've seen him just pacing backwards and forwards.
Yeah, he sees you, he gets his sword out, and he starts practicing.
Does he look like he's getting his sword out, practicing, like trying to show off?
Oh yes, 100%. 100%.
Okay.
How's the form of it? Is he doing a good job?
As someone who is you've used rapiers and scimitars, etc. No, it's poor.
Oh.
Oro, I think he could use some pointers. Quietly, so he can't hear.
Oh, yeah. Hi, kid. How you doing?
Oh God!
Oh.
He brings up his blade, and you're the first of the party to introduce yourself and say hi, kid.
Hmm.
He says, "Fight me, if you dare. I will show you, as I will show my love, how incredibly powerful I am and formidable as an opponent."
Is there anyone with the rope points off to?
He points off to the tree line. Can you give me a perception check with advantage because you've got your blindfold, but within 120 feet.
Hope she's within the 120.
Can't read.
You can see within the tree line that there is actually an individual who is sat it's a break in the trees that you can just see some kind of like sun drifting down into. They're scribbling on a notepad. It looks like they might be drawing a bird that's perched on a rock nearby.
Hello over there.
They are not even remotely phased by you. They are pretty much on the absolute peak of your vision. They are 120 feet away.
Oh. It doesn't look like they're wait, can I see them?
I talk out. I speak out to them.
Okay.
Hello over there, pointing at them.
They are fully engaged in their drawing.
Oh, it doesn't look like they're paying much attention.
Listen! I have said that I will slay the next formidable opponent that comes along this road. He leans in. Please. Please, please. Just act. Just die. Pretend to die.
Oh,
Does he keep pointing the sword at Oro?
Yes. Well, Oro was the first person to introduce themselves.
Can I attempt to just grab it off him?
No! I push I go away. Stop.
Oh.
He's trying to have some riz. This kid's trying to have some riz over here. Yeah, I know.
Aye!
What's riz?
Hadrig Juniper shall slay thee
Wait, what was
in
your
the
name
name
again?
of love.
Oh,
Hadrig Juniper.
Hadrig. Okay.
Hadrig.
Sorry.
Hadrig Juniper shall slay thee.
Okay. So as long as you don't actually hurt me, I'll go along with this. And she gets her sword out as well. She doesn't set fire to it. That feels like it might be.
Oh, God, can you imagine?
I did think about it.
You've been lured out into the fucking main road to watch this guy fucking challenge random people on the road, and he brings out his shitty little sword, and the person that he challenges brings out a flaming scimitar.
I support this kid in his attempt at wooing someone. Okay, let's have a little.
I shall slay thee.
Okay.
For my love, Halway, fine fellow. How fine. I'm gonna slay this goblin.
I have a name. It's Oro.
I'm gonna slay Oro. Look. I will. I'll do it. they've
Do they
not.
seem super interested in this expression of love? The person off in the tree line that Randall pointed out.
Whole way, you guys can just about see them. Randall can see them with fine detail because of the blindfold.
HD definition.
Fine detail.
And they seem to like just wave.
How does Aura want to go about this? Because she wants to support him, but she would also like to teach him how to actually be better and not just be like, oh no, you got me. Now let me teach you. You know, doesn't make sense.
I will allow you to prepare before you die. He stands there and he starts to stretches to limber up.
Okay, alright, give me a second. I need to prepare to die. Hold on. I turn around to everyone. What do I do with this kid? Because I could teach him something, or I could just lay down and pretend I'm dead so he gets a little, maybe some attention.
I think you need to tone it down a bit. You don't see us doing this.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that they even really care about this as an expression of favor. So maybe, like, they've just got the wrong idea.
Probably just gonna hurt themselves. Like, if it wasn't us, they'd probably just, like, actually fight someone.
Also, like, who takes watching someone murder someone else as a romantic thing?
Yeah.
I mean, they're up there, what, drawing by the looks of it?
Yeah.
I doubt they'd be into that.
Maybe I could scare the shit out of him with the flame sword and doing some like backflips and shit. And then maybe that'll get him to be like, okay, I've changed my mind. And then maybe
Honesty.
Yeah, then maybe we could teach him how to rizz it up, as the kids say.
Okay, well, I'm gonna need you to tell me what that means.
It means to have a lot of like swag, you know?
Uh-huh.
Charisma.
That's Jenny's favorite thing to do, is to use circus speak and then translate it to another circus speak.
Yeah.
I know, but swag is already in the list.
Yeah, that's true.
So what's to say in the list?
The definition of swag, according to Randall, is booty but never butts.
Oh, interesting. There are two meanings for swag then.
Yeah.
Oops.
I would just like to formally thank Gen Z again on behalf of all millennials for Riz. I just think that was like peak slang for.
It's a very good word.
I love Riz.
Yeah.
Never heard of
Way
it.
better than game.
Oh.
You've never heard of Riz?
Never heard of
What?
it. And I am within
Aren't
the
you-
Gen Z
Aren't you a
category.
member of that? Yeah.
I've genuinely never heard of that.
Your students have.
I'll ask them.
You kids heard about the Riz?
What does Riz mean?
Kids heard about the Riz. Don't say it like that. There might be some questionable responses.
I've already tried like implementing memes into my lessons, and some of them are clearly too young to even recognize some of the memes I come up with.
Oh no.
Oh no.
We all
Deeply
think
upsetting.
Jack is so young. Oh,
I
no.
know. One of the best stories I ever heard from somebody who had a professor who was trying to like reference pop culture and stuff is they would start off every year with a joke about Monty Python, and they would follow it up as long as somebody laughed. They would follow it up by saying, "I know I'm not too old to teach as long as somebody gets that reference."
Oh no.
Once nobody in the class gets that reference, I'm retiring.
Oh, that's not long.
But this is embarrassing.
It's not long. Oh dear. I still.
This was also
to
when
this
I was
day-
in college, so you know
Oh.
it was a long time then.
Yeah, I still am saddened by the time that I referred to Scrubs, and no one got it. No one knew what the fuck I was talking about. No one had ever heard of Scrubs.
No.
I made the same-
I used
made
the
the same-
Arthur meme, and they didn't get that one either.
Use which meme?
The Arthur meme with the fists. Stay down.
Oh no.
Arfa?
Arthur, yeah, another
Arthur.
TV show.
Arthur.
Oh, Arthur. Yes. Sorry.
Sorry.
Lost in accents.
Arthur? What's this Arthur thing?
Down.
That was
Half of this and half of that.
Arthur what? Arthur sandwich?
Oh dear me. Okay. Yeah.
Remember when you said you were worried you didn't have enough for today's session?
I'm forever worried, and I'm always elated when we just end up chatting shit for 3 hours.
Oh, amazing. I mean, what is tabletop RPG other than chatting shit for hours?
It's just an excuse to hang out with your pals and talk nonsense, and I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
True.
I'm
To
more
blow
than
some bad
happy.
guys up in a video game.
Yeah, just to once a week spend 3 hours chatting shit and occasionally dumping shit tons of lore on you guys that you were not prepared for.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna say, so Oro asked us what to do, and I think Nerly is like, maybe we just ask them if their partner cares about this, because they seem to just kind of be drawing or something, and making sure that this is really what they want, and if they do, then you can do your cool stuff and maybe teach them something. But maybe they're just misguided. And if they keep doing stuff like this, then the next people might not be so nice and they might die.
How
You
about?
want me to go ask him while you distract this guy?
Sure.
Haiku being the spokesperson, not an issue whatsoever. No one opposes that.
Never
decision.
goes
There
wrong.
won't be too much information shared at all.
In so many other circumstances, Nerly would have been like, maybe I'll go do it. But right now, she's not feeling like walking over to strange people by herself. It's just really not like the vibe she's feeling at the moment.
Understandably, yeah, understandably.
Well, I'm gonna walk over to their love interest.
Howway.
I got their name already.
Howway, fine fellow.
Halloway.
Goldfellow. Wrong thing.
And so you, the rest of you guys, I mean, it's 120 feet, so there's a little while that they've got to walk. What are you guys doing whilst Haiku's walking over?
I think I'm just gonna watch Oro and see what
Padrick?
happens.
Oh, what did you say, Tom? What was that in a bit?
Are you going to talk to Padrick?
Yeah. Whilst she's being distracted, we'll talk to him. Yeah.
Well, he says, listen, I really appreciate this, because he said that he'll go on a date with me if I, beat a worthy challenger in Mortal Kombat.
Really? Is that what he said?
Yeah. So I was like, will you go on a date with me if I, show that I can overcome significant personal challenges? And he was like, yes, they would have to be significant. You would have to really show some significant development in your personal character, and then I'll go on a date with you. And I was like, sick. And I said, listen, I'm going to come out today. I'm going to show you how I'm going to challenge a significant part of myself, and that is me killing you. But like killing you.
I don't think that's exactly what he means.
I think it's what he means.
I mean, it's what he said.
Yeah, that's what he said.
That challenging a part of yourself, would lying be actually challenging a part of yourself?
Whoa.
Maybe challenging a part of yourself would be
Whoa.
realizing
That's just
that
whoa.
this is... Maybe challenging a part
Whoa.
of yourself would be
Is this some
realizing
kind of
that
spell?
this is like a fool's errand, and would... Honestly, if literally most people but us came along, you probably would end up in a real duel and they would hurt you.
Listen, I'm just really excited to get a date on. Been a long dry spell. I've been a fan of Howway for a long time. And as his name suggests, he's fine.
I look over.
In this
Is he fine?
segue, we'll go look over to Howway, where
Mhm.
Haiku has just arrived. Howway is chilling on a rock, kind of comfortably perched up against it whilst looking into the sky, and there's a bird in a tree that he's doodling.
Hi, are you Halway? By any chance? Just
Hi. Yeah.
Hi. Yeah, you're. Oh, I'm Haiku.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you, Heike. How you doing?
Pleasure to meet you too. Yeah. Your friend down there, Patrick,
Yeah.
Patrick, is it? They kind of blocking our way. The rest of them are speaking to them now. I'll be honest with you, I'm a little bit tired of helping people at the moment.
Okay.
They keep saying that they need to kill one of us to get a date with you, and I just want to check, is that accurate? And if so, how can we speed this process up?
It seems to me like an 18-year-old boy is stopping you in the road, and you could just maybe walk around.
Yeah, you say that we're like an adventuring group, and it's kind of like we're expected to help everyone. I've been having this existential crisis myself.
I'm really not getting that vibe from you.
You're not getting the vibe that I'm getting tired of helping people.
No, I'm not getting the vibe that you like helping people and you're adventuring. Like you're an adventurer.
No, what's the thing? Well, we are adventurers.
So what? So if you're not doing it to help people, why are you doing it?
Because the rest of my party want to help them, so I want to speed things up so we can get to where we need to be going.
And is that where you're going? Is that helping people?
Possibly, probably.
And what is your motivation for being an adventurer?
Wow.
Why is this? I'm sorry. If I walked into a therapist's office, all I want to know is,
to have boundaries.
are you actually going to date this young man if he kills one of us?
I did not say that he had to kill any of you.
But he seems to think you did.
That is a miscommunication, perhaps on my part, but most likely on his part. I don't think he needs to kill anybody. I would be upset if he did. Maybe just leave him alone.
Do you fancy just popping on back down with me and just reiterating that miscommunication that you actually don't want him to? I'm just trying to get things done here.
Honestly, as you can see, I'm in the middle of something. They turn around. What is it? Honestly, a beautiful drawing of a robin that sat in the tree. I'm in the middle of something. I really don't want to lose this moment. This is already a bit much for me and for the robin. If you could maybe take these harsh vibes.
Oh no, he's got his bucket.
I'm waiting for the matchstick thrown at Robin.
And just march yourself back to the main road. That would be great.
I do actually have an ability to just imprint a picture onto objects. I'm gonna do that. Magical tinkering.
Oh my god!
I'll search for like the flattest piece of rock or like bark or something on the floor I can see nearby, and then I'm gonna imbue that whatever I find with magic and have it display a picture of the robin in the tree.
Okay. Does the description of that ability say that you can do a fine piece of artwork, or is it simple like symbols, or?
I think it's probably supposed to be like a camera.
This effect can be a picture, up to 25 words of text, lines, and shapes, or a mixture of these elements as you like.
Oh, I like to imagine it a bit like when you take a photo and you stick it in Photoshop, and then you put that filter on it where it looks like it's supposed to be watercolors or whatever.
Yeah.
Where it's not ideal, but it does the job. It doesn't look like actual art. It looks like someone has done precisely what you've done.
Yeah. Well, like I'm doing it of the robin, not of their drawing, So
sure. Yes. Yeah. So are you doing it? Like, what is your intention here? Like, look, I did it. Now you can stop.
Well, more of you've got this, static visual representation. If when you get back, the robin's gone. You still have the robin here, as it was when you were drawing it. I mean, if it flies away in the next minute and you're still stood here, you're still going to have to continue drawing what you started. You're not going to rub it all out and draw a branch with nothing on it, are you?
I'll be honest, I don't think you understand art.
No, I definitely don't understand that, but I do understand wanting to get a move on.
That's an 18-year-old boy who's not going to stop you if you walk past him.
So I go back to them. And
You
just
are
say,
wasting more time having this conversation with me than just simply walking back.
Yeah, I'm feeling that way increasingly.
And yet here you are.
Well, do you want the picture of the Robin I've made anyway? Else I'll just take it back with me.
Take it back with you. I'm going to continue my drawing. Thank you.
Okay, pleasure speaking to you.
Have a wonderful day.
Yeah, you too.
What is this? Haiku becomes increasingly unpleasant to be around.
Haiku only does this unpleasantness when
Haiku is really
the
lovely to
group
the
can't
players.
hear them.
See, that person was a bit pompous anyway. So is it Haiku that's unpleasant to be around, or is it every NPC that is like a young mask person?
I wouldn't have even necessarily described them as mask. I was just saying that they were,
How old was this person, by the way?
They were about the same age.
Okay, it's because they kept specifically saying they're an 18-year-old. I was getting weird vibes on that.
Yeah, make sure.
That's fair enough.
Well, yeah, I'll walk back and report.
So they don't want you to fight and point to.
I think it's important that Haiku describes their findings,
Okay.
because whatever the fuck Jack says is probably not going to properly represent what actually happened.
Okay.
Alright, so I've just been to talk to your friend. I've already forgot the name. They basically said there was appears to have been a bit of a miscommunication. There's been a bit of a twat about it, if you ask me personally. But it's like going.
Excuse me.
But I'm speaking.
It sounds like you're slating my future husband's honor.
Whoa,
Please don't challenge him to a duel.
They don't want.
I think it's time for a duel.
No,
yeah. Okay, come back here. Come back here.
Do you hear what they said?
Listen, we've had a tough couple of years. Right?
They don't want you to kill anyone.
They don't want you to kill anyone.
That sounds not like what I've heard. It sounds
I have an idea.
the opposite. I'm listening.
Shoot him.
No.
Listen, we seem like we're on the same page. He's pointing at Oro.
Yeah. I understand. Oro looks at the ground, and I assume there are a bunch of either buds or like flowers around. Because with my druid craft, I can make flowers bloom.
Oh, let's fucking go!
So I want to make a bunch of flowers bloom.
Let's fucking go!
And pick them for him. And because I know that they're looking at a robin and they're drawing a robin. I can make little small animal sounds is what I can make. I want to make a robin sound, like calling for a mate sound or something, to make another robin appear. Basically, is what I want to do for another robin to appear. So I wrap the flowers up in like a piece of grass, then tie it together, and I give it to him, and I'm like, just go give it to him, and then maybe point at. I hope a bird's appeared.
I'd just like to say inspiration point, because that is beautiful.
Yeah,
that is such an excellent solution. Wow, that is so good.
You could do that.
Well done. That was awesome.
And then after that's gone very well. Also, your form's completely wrong. I give him some pointers on how to fix his form. Do this.
So it's like,
yeah. Maybe don't ask random people on the street to fight you, because is this a flame sword? I could make this fire and evaporate anyone.
That's sick.
Yeah, it's really sick.
Can I borrow that?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. We had this mentor vibe going on, and I thought.
Yeah. No, it's very special to me. And
you've got a fanboy. You got the adoring fan.
Yeah.
Oh no, not the adoring fan.
The
adoring fan. So yeah, fix your form. That's great. How you're doing it there? Yeah, improvement.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just go and tell them, how you feel, and that you just really like them a lot, and not, they don't want you to kill anyone, so you shouldn't also kill anyone.
So what you're saying is, I should take these flowers, and my wonderful new Robin friend, back over to Holloway and express to them how I feel.
Yeah.
And that maybe the personal development that they were talking about is actually less violent
Yeah.
and more to do with how I perhaps approach other people.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. That's deep.
That's deep, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And they walk off. Off the road and towards Holloway. Are you guys gonna nosy around and get the binoculars out, or?
I'm absolutely watching now. I'm invested. I want to see if the other person who seems a little dramatic, like, accepts or rejects or is, I don't know. I need to know.
Who'd have thought that compassion would have worked in the end?
That's so different
learn
from
something
walking
new
over
every
there
day.
and saying, I'm an adventurer, but I don't like helping people. Speed this up for me. And then we say, yes, it was Holloway that was being the asshole, not Haiku. So you guys, bearing in mind that you are in full view of both Holloway and Pedrick, who are chilling in just off the side of the road, are you going to stand there and look?
No,
or are you just gonna...
we like go forward a little bit and like hide behind a bush, but like it's pretty obvious. Like if you looked for a second, you'd notice that we're there, but it looks like, you know, in
all
the
different
peripheral
heads along
vision.
the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nugget.
Thank you for knowing what I meant by that.
Yeah,
Like,
Nuggets down there
yeah.
as well. Okay, well you see, let's roll a. I'm gonna roll his persuasion check with advantage because
With
you've helped
Riz.
him.
Come on. Roll a
Riz.
Riz check.
With Riz, a Riz
What?
check.
How is
What about
booty
their
going to
biz
help us?
modifier?
I don't understand how booty helps.
Booty always helps. Randall, don't worry about it.
Rather than
More
seeing,
roll in this case than help.
rather than seeing some like effuse expression of affection and a big hug and an incredible like resolution to this, what you see is that Pedrick puts down the bouquet. Like they come over and he expresses, he says something, he holds out the bouquet, and you know, you can see that Holloway puts down their scratch pad and just kind of sits there and looks up at them, and they exchange a couple of words, and then Pedrick puts the bouquet down on the floor and sits down next to them, and they start having a conversation. It's impossible to say at this distance what that conversation entailed, but you can see that, you know, neither of them have stomped off in a frustrated mess. I rolled with advantage and I got a 9 on the Riz check.
God damn it.
So that's going to sit dead in the middle.
Okay. What's
I
better than
mostly
them?
wanted to stay and watch because I wanted to find out if Fellowfine or whatever their name was actually like a fey creature that had like put them up to this or something.
That would have been an interesting way to resolve this, but I didn't want to throw you immediately in a combat after you've just had a combat.
Thank you.
Because if you guys thought, oh, he's being bewitched, you'd be like, I'm gonna fuck this guy up.
Yeah. We need some wholesome things in the meantime. Hi, Papaya. Oh. You said something
Goes
there, but
back
none of it
online?
came through, which is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said hi, papaya.
I heard hi, Papaya.
I have high papaya.
It looked like then you said something else, but it didn't.
I
come
might
through.
have. I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
It's more than 30
It did.
seconds away.
Okay, I'm glad I wasn't the only one who saw.
I'm sure I did. I don't know what it was. Okay. So, is our party moving on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastico.
Before
Is
you
our-
all ask, he was quite fine. I'll give him that.
Now is the time for us to regale the chat with our prompts. I want to hear you guys you have to have one conversation with at least one other PC on the road whilst you're traveling. What is the conversation that you have?
I think at some juncture, probably after this encounter, but after we'd had like a good solid like 30 minutes of walking without seeing another like humanoid living creature, Nerly would just quietly to the group in general. Did anyone else notice that Priestess Code's last words seemed to be that we would be forgotten?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just put that down to them being spiteful, but I, as far as I can tell, I definitely don't know them like you lot do.
Spiteful could be that they've involved themselves with erasing Caspian.
I did not think of that.
Yeah, forgetting. It just kind of made me think of it.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a terrible coincidence, but I thought of that too.
Might be. Do you think it's Shar that's doing this?
Yes.
That's all Randall has to say about it.
Yes. Pretty sure.
Kind of what I was worried about.
Who is this Shar exactly?
Yeah, I wanted to ask. Which one's
Awful.
Sean?
What? So I think that will nicely segue into what Randall was going to talk about, which was probably like going back over the lore stuff that I totally don't remember, but I definitely know that Randall would remember.
I love having a character who would objectively be much better at remembering these kinds of
Oh,
details.
absolutely. Right, there are like two types of characters, which are characters which are you, and characters which do things that you want to be able to do, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh, that's so real. The way that
First
I
off-
always say this character is the like ideal version of me in this capacity. Oh
Oh
god.
my god, that is so accurate, and I want that to be a sound alert, just so that can happen every time we have one of those moments where, like, yeah, this is my character just doing something I wish I could do, but much better.
Mhm.
Oh god.
Flip it. Timestamp it.
Flip it.
Someone.
Jesus Christ. Fucking shots fired. Anyway, continue.
So yeah, Randall will be talking about some of the stuff we found at the monastery, and then like what the words, what they meant, kind of the Shah stuff, and just like going back over some of those things.
Oh, okay.
Is there anything particular that Randall would want to drill into?
I think probably the specific words, the tool, was it tool, weapon, something? I'm pretty sure I have that written down. Yeah, a pact / contract of a weapon tool for a secret enigma. Like, I don't know what it means. But I'm pretty sure that I'm the weapon or tool.
Oh,
Oh.
Well, I think
I mean, you do
that's what I worked out.
You do kind of kick ass in fights.
You kind of are a
Sometimes
weapon.
literally.
Yeah.
I mean, you use your fists for some of it.
Well,
Christ.
maybe you should try wielding me.
is that a... You coming
Sounds
on to
like a
Haiku?
line.
That's circus sweet.
Not the
Yeah,
first
no,
time
no.
this has happened.
This is not sexual in any way.
Next time we're in a fight, Haiku just picks Rendell up by the feet. Like
This
swinging
is-
a bat.
It's like you get punched and then hit by Randall at the same time. Just swings in.
This is reminding me deeply of our last session where we said that Randall and Haiku sleep in the same bed.
Oh, yeah. But only one of them knows.
Hi, Big Mac with fries.
Hi.
Oh, and I know we're kind of done with the Feywild and we sort of don't want to think about it, but you know that big thing we fought as we were like trying to leave the Jabberwock thing? I think that might still be chasing me. I did a little bit of side reading while I was there. Just thought I'd let you.
Origin's like, what?
Now this nicely segues onto what I was going to ask.
I really hope Jenny segues on after Haiku's because this is going to be so
Yes,
good.
yes.
I was going to ask the group if there were any more like people or groups chasing us, because there seems to be a theme since I've joined this group of people like wanting to hunt us down. And if you got any more, I'd like you to just to get it off your chest so I can know about it at least. It was a little awkward trying to talk to this person last time.
No.
I only knew about the Enclave. But whoever's orchestrating the whole erasure of Cassian is probably after all of us, really.
Which is a comforting thought. At least it's all of us.
Do you know if Priestess whatever code was knew anyone else who might be hunting us down, as well as this Jabberwock?
I don't think it can travel interplanarly. That's a word. Let's accept it and move on.
Accept it.
Interplanarly.
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 But
Well,
So you don't know of anyone else?
do you know of anyone?
No, I don't. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page.
I would have really liked if Haiku just suddenly dropped a lore bomb on me, the DM, and be like, "Oh, by the way, in my backstory, there's a whole organization that wants to hunt me down. That's been chasing down my entire family, stopping them from chasing me."
Oh my god.
The protectors of
might
the
have missed
thing.
this
The
one.
protectors of the artifact, yeah.
Oh my god.
No,
Yes, that
it's
would be
the
so funny.
artifact hunting us down.
oh.
Who's hunting who?
Such a brilliant DM.
Quick, erase the last 30-second time, Wang.
Okay, so great.
Still can't believe that slang. Sorry, go ahead.
That topic perfectly goes into the topic that I wanted to talk about with everyone, which is asking what everyone's love languages were.
That's a perfect segue. That's a perfect segue.
Because after seeing that interaction with those two and about, love languages and whatever, just, it can be friend love languages, doesn't have to be, romantic love language, just how each of us like to show love. That was what I was thinking about. Nothing that deep, honestly. It just kept going along the line of like really serious conversation. Oh, the whole time I was like, I don't have a serious topic. Am I gonna have to think of something? No, I can't. It's too late for me.
No,
what is a love language, Oro?
Oh, okay, Oro has to introduce love languages. Love languages
is
how.
Is that to do with booty?
Yeah, yeah, kind of. No.
Oh, Randall's surprised.
Oh shit. Well, Jenny doesn't want to have to teach you all love languages right now. It's how you like to receive or give love. So it could be like receiving gifts, like you feel the most love when you get a gift, or when you get to spend time with someone, or like when someone does something for you, like takes the bins out or something, for example, if you live with them, blah, blah, blah. And physical touch. And they introduced a new one, but I can't remember what the new one's called, but those things.
Oh, is that like DLC?
Wait,
are there 6 of them now?
Yeah, they introduced a new one recently. I can't remember what it was. Love me. I just thought it'd be cute if it was like Oro likes little gifts because she likes little trinkets and stuff. And
that is a whole ass great prompt.
Yeah,
it's just
it's
a full-on good prompt.
Meta prompt. It's a prompt within the prompt.
We have a prompt within a prompt.
Yeah, you don't have to answer it now.
Wanted to have a conversation where she asked a prompt of everybody. A completely different prompt that wasn't on the list. A really good idea.
Oh, there are 2 new love languages. It's shared experiences and emotional security.
Oh no!
I'm gonna reevaluate my whole identity.
Okay, let's. I think we should say Oro's opened up that question and maybe just introduced the term love languages, and maybe we can deal with it next session if people want to have that for the prompt. Yeah,
I can answer now if needs be.
All right.
Well, I mean, if you want to save it for next session, I'll save it for next session.
Well, if everyone's thought of something, then yeah. All right.
Just do me last.
Okay. Go on then, Haiku.
Is that your love language?
I think. Fuck's sakes.
There's so much more I could have said, but I'm not going to.
That's so funny. It's so stupid. Ah.
I think haikus would be acts of service.
As
Okay.
in, is like giving or receiving? Like, it likes to do things for other people, or likes when other people do things for haiku?
Receiving. And I think
I
that's
don't
sort of
think we should have used the word receiving or giving.
Yeah,
but
we've used it now.
That's too late.
And that's probably the reason why Randall's occasional wandering off from them and leaving them hits so deep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm,
But I think if the giving part of it is probably like giving gifts. If haiku gives something to you from their shell, you're special.
Oh, yeah, go on then.
Yeah.
Hey, Malcolm.
Hi.
Hey, man.
Randall.
Right.
Randall's will be words of affirmation, but specifically in the form of small notes.
Oh,
I
that's
like
cute.
Normally, like hidden within things.
that. Oh.
Oh,
So like, you just open something
as
as a
an
little
extra
note.
level, you know, a little note, but then it's also a hidden note.
Mhm.
Like when someone
find
packs
while
your
you're
lunch for the
researching.
day.
Oh. Cute.
Does Randall scrapbook the little notes?
Oh.
I'm gonna
Or
say
would
yes
they?
based on your face.
It's the positive response.
Well, 'cause it seems like such a Randall thing to do. It just seems like such a cute thing to do. Like if somebody was like, you know, scavenger hunt, leaving you little nice notes that you would like paste them down in your own journal and put other little like mementos around them because you're always taking notes and stuff anyway. It just seems like
Bloody adorable.
so cute.
So cute.
Mhm. Okay, I thought of mine, so I don't have to go last.
Okay.
Unless, okay, yeah. So I think Nerly, unless I think Nerly would also for like showing love would be gift giving, but it would be more of like I made you this little thing, rather than like big extravagant gestures. It would be like little meaningful gifts that she like handmade or something. But I think for like receiving love, it would be quality time.
Cute. Yep.
I think she spent a lot of time like feeling isolated, and quality time really would speak to her as a result.
I think auras are, she likes getting random little gifts, like random shit that's just like, I thought of you. I thought you'd like this random shit that's shiny. Here you go. But I think she likes showing her love in acts of service. So like if you have a problem, Aura will be like, I'm gonna sort that out. I'll do that without telling them. Or blah 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 like that. I'll sort it.
If you
I'll beat
got a
them up.
problem, yo, I'll solve it. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Continue.
Exactly.
That's bloody adorable. What a great little prompt within a prompt.
What a great time for a bio break.
And what I was just about to say, bio break the clock. Let's have a bio break.
Excellent.
If you guys are new to the channel, our bio breaks last as long as it takes, which is usually not very long at all. We go off, refill our drinks, have a pee, and then we come back. So if you need to have a stretch, you need to refill your drink, or you need to empty yourself, now is the time to do so. I'd usually flip the camera around, and you could see what used to be referred to as the do-good penis, and now it's called the do-good penis behind the camera, because I don't have a camera that can easily be
The
moved.
shy do-good penis.
Shy do-good penis. I'm just going to put that there instead. Oh,
Okay.
you can see like a little star.
Oh.
Lovely.
I'm gonna run ads in the meantime, so get up, get a drink, go pee, etc. Bye.
Goodbye. I'm actually just gonna order myself some food because I don't feel like cooking right now, so I'm gonna chill with y'all. How's everybody doing? I'm dying. If you're familiar with the love languages thing, I love shit like this. I love like understanding how people work, right? And supposedly, I googled it as soon as Jenny said it. The 6th love language is feeling known. Familiar with the Enneagram test? I must know. Because I am. I love them. After I was introduced to them, I love, like I said, understanding how people work and like those sort of like official psychology backed tests or like descriptions, they're all still, you know, it's all still subjective and grain of salt type of thing. Feeling gnomes? Is he specific? Wait, what? Feeling gnomes? Yeah. My Enneagram type is all about feeling gnomes. Gotcha. My Enneagram type is all about wanting to be understood. And this whole like feeling known thing, I was like, that's why I went, oh no. Gnomes are pretty good. You're a silly papaya. Yeah, so what is everybody else having for lunch? Because I'm hungry. What should I have for lunch today? Maybe I will have a burger. Big Mac has inspired me. I don't think I'm gonna have a Big Mac though. But we have a good burger place near here. Uh-oh. Oh, it disappeared. Oh, there's a deal. I heard gnome. Nona. Nona. Not feeling gnomes. I guess unless you have consent, you know, then I guess feel as many gnomes as you want to. It's kind of up to you, not me. Boo-boo. Man, I don't know. Maybe I won't order food right now. I've been having trouble deciding what I want. I heard gnome and probably bard too. When did you hear bard? I don't think I said anything about that. Pretty sure I didn't. Welcome
Hello.
back. Hello. I looked up this sixth love language thing and it smacked me in the face and I'm unhappy with it.
Love language types. I can only find 5.
Yeah,
Well,
I had
have
to
you
Google
paid? Have you got the DLC?
specifically. I found the DLC. I found the
Oh.
description of it. And
Is
the
it-
sixth, supposedly, the sixth love language is feeling known.
Oh, all right. What was?
And I was like, oh no. Oh no, that's it. That's the one.
What about 7?
Yeah, there's a I think 7 love styles test here.
Oh my god.
Quizzes.
7th one.
Motherfuckers love quizzes. I gave a lecture about psychometrics, and part of it is you talk about MBTI, and they're you ask the class like, is any of you guys like into horoscopes? And like some people are like fucking no, and then some people are like yeah. You talk about like, oh, have you looked into like, you know, your personality types? And some people are like, oh yeah, maybe a little bit. And one person's like, yeah. And how accurate do you think yours is? Well, mine's the same every single time. And I'm like, okay, well, you are in the extreme minority because most people find that it changes every time they take the test. It was an eye-opening experience, I think.
So it's funny because I was talking about stuff like that when y'all went away. I have taken the Myers-Briggs, the MBTI, so many times in my life, not ever of my own volition. It's always been like school wanted me to, uni wanted me to, a job wanted me to, blah, blah, blah. And I've been ENFP every time. And the thing about the Myers-Briggs was I like read the brief description of the types and I was like, oh, I'm an ENFP. It took no thought whatsoever. And every single time I read one of those, I'm always able to pinpoint my like personality type or whatever type thing, because I know myself really well, right? So the Enneagram one is the one that I ended up becoming obsessed with because the person who showed it to me and everyone who I brought it up to and myself read through it and we were like, oh, you're a 2. And I was like, yeah, I'm definitely a 2. I'm such a 2. It's so wild. weird. And then I took the test, and they're like, "You're 4," and I was like, "No, I'm not." And then I read the description for 4, and I was like,
I think mine might have been the exact
something to me
same.
that I did not know about myself, and that is unsettling to me because I always know about myself. And the 4th thing is like, you know yourself, you know everything about yourself. And I was like, yeah, that's what's really unsettling, that you are the only,
Paradox.
this is the only framework
That is a paradox,
through which, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It goes on to talk about how like there's like the one aspect of yourself that you are always struggling to really like pin down and why and stuff, and it has to do with why I thought I was a 2 instead of a 4, and also how 4s act more and more like 2s when they're unhealthy because it's not healthy for them. And I was like, ah, fucking hell. But it was right. And it wasn't even one of those like, oh, horoscopes. It was so broad. It was so specific that I literally had to call somebody and talk through it, because I was like, I always know everything about myself. Why did I not understand how this was working? And it's right. That's the thing that's uncomfortable to me, is that it was correct in a way that nothing else in my long years of existence that I almost specified. Not that I care, but I feel old lately. But like, I just blah. Anyway, so I love the Enneagram thing. It's been really interesting to me. All tools through which you can maybe understand things better, but taken with a grain of salt, etc., etc. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And if you like Enneagram stuff, there's an album called Atlas Enneagram that Sleeping at Last did. That's really wonderful, and the songs will you will probably just know your type just by listening to those songs and see which one makes you cry the hardest. And you're like, oh, that must be my number.
Okay.
Delphine. Yeah, I'm done now.
Are we good to go back to our D&D world?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fantastic. So, I mean, we had some wonderful little chit-chat, didn't we? Did we have a nice little moment between all of our players talking about their love languages, and also trying to set up Padrig and Hallway? Very sweet. Our party is once again
really
on the
was
road.
super invested in setting them up, but that's fine.
I thought it was a nice little encounter. I had fun with that.
Yeah, it was absolutely, yeah.
Now, on the road again. Can't wait to get on the road again.
I think that's one of those things that I only know as a reference, and I actually don't know where it came from. But I always think it every time.
I think I only know it through Tom.
I only know it through Shrek.
I'll link you. I'll link y'all.
Well, I know it through Shrek, and then I've heard the song since, but the first time I heard it was in Shrek. I'm genuinely surprised that you guys have never referenced that apart from hearing it from me. Anyway, on the road again, you are turning around a fairly sharp corner. Remember, we're deep in the Kingswood at this point, so you are surrounded by trees on either side. And you hear the clippity-clop of hooves on the dirt. At this point, we're getting to probably about late afternoon, early evening.
How many years is it?
Summer.
Okay.
And we're closing in on Weymouth. But you're still a couple hours out. Clippity-clops, though. Clippity-clops in the old dirt.
We can hear them but not see them.
Correct.
Okay, we should all set up an ambush.
Is there a horse lane?
It's just one set of hooves? One clippity-clop?
Give me a perception check.
Clippity-clop check.
Clip-clop, check. Not a check.
Clop check.
13, because I forgot to turn off advantage.
Okay.
Damn, I wasted 24.
It sounds like a small number of horses. It's hard to say precisely how many.
It occurs to me I should specify, since it's summer, I do not have the cloak on with the hood, because it would be way too hot. So I've just turned the glamour dress into a very plain, like, black mage's robe sort of look that I've probably stolen from other people because we're traveling and I don't want to be too, like, ostentatious. In fact, instead of black, it's going to be, like, really close to the color of the foliage, just like a nice green matching like a dark color of the foliage on the side of the road kind of thing.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Is the party doing any crazy haiku ambush shit, or are you guys just patiently waiting to see who comes around the corner?
That was a joke.
Just gonna wait.
Just to emphasize.
Okay.
I'm gonna mime waiting.
The hooves.
Just like as a small tangent, like what on these roads where obviously it's shared between like horse and cart people.
Yep.
Is there like I don't know, like unspoken rule about horses stay on one side and people stay on the other, or like
It's more of an
Is there
etiquette.
a bike lane?
Yeah, it's not so much that there's a bike lane. It's more that the cars will take the center of the road, left or right, and the pedestrians will take the proper side of the road, like way out.
Gotcha.
And wait for them to pass, usually. Or walk alongside them. They're usually going a little bit faster than pedestrians, but not by much.
Oh, I was under the impression they walked at the same speed.
That's why I said by not by much. Okay. Well, the clippity cloppy gets a little bit faster, as around the corner is one horse, a very fine white horse, that is donned in some purple dragon knight armor. You can see that it has its own kind of almost tabard purple colors, the Obaskir family sigil upon it, emblazoned in gold on a purple background. And atop this horse is none other than Garius Sariel.
Oh my lord.
Oh, wow, he's
So-
alive.
Man
Now
himself.
that's a fine fella.
That, yes, there we
Now
go.
that's a fine fella.
I think we can all agree on that.
He seems to be going with some haste. Just him on his own, though.
Or
Oh,
it goes,
so it was
woo,
just him by
Garius!
himself. Okay.
Oh, travelers!
Oh my God,
Adventurers!
hi.
The completionists!
Mm-hmm.
That's us.
He
Oh, you
stops
remembered
and
our name.
He stops his horse and, yeah, well, you guys are we're friends. You're favorites of mine. I expected to see you in, I forgot the name of the fucking capital. Sazale! Didn't I say that you could see me there if you ever stop by? I've
Well,
not heard of your
yeah.
endeavors in months.
A year? Yeah. We were sent to the Feywild. Against our will.
Against our will. Mhm.
On our
Yeah.
way to deal with this dragon, actually.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
The dragon, by the way. Did you...
He dismounts and he starts to groom his horse a little bit whilst he's chatting to you. Oh, yeah, that was a terrible circumstance. Actually, the dragon had set up in a cave, a mountainside cave, not too far from here, whilst a community had been wintering elsewhere. It set itself up in this massive cave, and the Purple Dragon Knights had arranged some gathering, get some adventurers involved. It's not unsimilar, it's not uncommon for them to recruit adventurers directly into the higher echelons. I don't know if you've heard about this kind of. Yeah, maybe. Okay. You get involved. You kill a giant monster that's threatening innocent civilians, and you become, a more valued employee, kind of sort of thing. Yeah. So the dragon had made a lair inside the community's cave. The conscripts came to deal with it, and it was an absolute massacre. As far as I'm aware, not a single person made it out unscathed.
How many conscripts did you have?
I wasn't there, unfortunately. I even to this day,
Perhaps,
I
fortunately.
maybe to this day I still worry that things might have gone differently if I was there.
You ever fought a dragon before?
No, I've never fought a dragon before, but had I not been away working for the king, I may have been there. and maybe I could have saved some lives. But
Did we know he was working for the king? Wait, what did...
it's maybe been briefly mentioned before that he's he's a high member of the Purple Dragon Knights, but he's not really explicitly said that he was working for the king before. Although technically at the higher ends, like the king is kind of
the top
up there. But
what were you doing for the king?
He's got it in his head that you remember. Actually, I'm on a quest for him now. You remember that blade? The blade that you gave me.
Oh.
Yes.
The obsidian, matte black, evil ass blade that you found.
Oh yes.
It was from when you first met me, I believe.
It's like a spirit dragon thing.
Oh.
Or something, not spirit dragon, but a spirit thing for us.
Oh, right, yeah.
Randall remembers perfectly.
For Randall's memory, who he knows perfectly and no one else seems to, when finding and doing the first quest with Haiku, you went off into the forest. There was a giant spooky bird dragon thing that had its skull was a sword in the head of it.
Oh.
And you pulled the sword out, and I think, what was it? It was Neurally tried some magic shit.
Sounds about right.
I think it felt evil and we tried to cleanse it.
Yes, and what happened was instead the moon disappeared from the sky, and the blade went completely matte black, as if some kind of staring into some dark void of nothingness.
Into black.
All of you immediately thought, "Shit, this is bad." This is immediately and obviously a super deep evil blade of badness. And your first response was when you got back to Nesmith, you bumped into Garius Sariel, gave him the blade in a way of saying, "You look after this, but we don't want anything to do with it."
Responsible for this.
Yeah. This seems super evil and bad. Give it to this holy paladin dude. He'll probably do the right thing.
Oh, that's how we got the hush money.
That's how you got the hush money, yeah. And he brought it back and put it in Sazale in the chapter house.
Right.
Well, you remember the blade that I acquired from you guys?
Obvious, yeah.
Of course you do, yes. Well, it turns out there are some other relics that have been described in a similar style. Like a dark blackness to them that is inescapable. Just a serious evil nature that have been resurfacing almost as if they've been brought into the world from some forgotten nightmare. And I've been acquiring them to make sure that no one else uses these for evil deeds.
How many have you got so far?
Well, so far it's mostly been reconnaissance. I'm actually on the way to the Liberamans monastery.
Oh. That's where I'm from. Hello.
I remember you mentioning the first time we met. I'm looking to meet with, is it Master Kulth? Is he still there?
Mm-hmm. We spoke with him not long ago.
A friend of the king. We plan on rendezvousing and discussing perhaps some leads.
Ah. Randall's like, makes sense to himself, just like, yeah, okay, it makes sense.
I can send all kinds of creatures with my teleportation circle, right? I could send a horse, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How many days ride is Libramons from here?
Quite a few.
Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's like a week and a bit.
Are we supposed to be on a map on Roll20, or is mine just loaded a white page, by the way?
Oh, it's a map.
Mine's the map.
The map, yeah.
So
Oh, cool. It's just me. Hello.
I'll put you back on the map. I'll reload it for you.
I
Here,
just
Flame.
it's just loaded properly.
Well, I think to go back to the monastery, you went back to Nesmith first and then went to it. So that's quite a
Yeah.
trek.
Yes, but then then nobody used an inspiration point to make sure that there was a magic circle in the monastery.
Sure did.
True.
If you want, I can just send you there now. You don't have to keep
Really?
waiting for another week.
I mean, that would speed things up tremendously.
Mm.
Well, then
Are
maybe I shall take you up on that offer, but that just means I have more time to chat with you guys. He's taken some time away from his horse now. Randall,
Mm-hmm.
how's your grimoire right now? Is it is that hanging out, or are you covering it up?
Oh, I thought this was him. I was like, how does he know about that?
No.
Yeah, I
Okay.
thought it was
I was-
Darius too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I
Josh
was
and
gonna.
both immediately suspicious. Like what?
So I think Randall's response when we recognized it was Garrus would have been to be like trying to stand so that there was like someone either blocking it or that he was turned in such a way that it was like
Okay.
not like actively like hiding it, but not as in like scrambling to like hide it, but just like subtly trying to be like making it less obvious.
Could
Not
you roll
flaunting
me
it.
a stealth check then, please?
Wow.
Ooh, I have to scroll a long way.
No props. You can see that the horse kind of starts to be a little bit fussed that he's not having any attention, and he says, "I'm so sorry, guys. I think he's a bit sick of me, honestly. Is there any chance that Oro, could you maybe just? I mean, you guys, I'm sure you guys are great with animals. Just have an opportunity just to see if you can tend to my horse. You know,
Yeah, sure.
Stout is he's a good war horse, but he doesn't get much time around people these days.
Oh.
And he steps away. He says, "No, really, I wanted to get your opinion on something. Can I I'm just curious to hear what you have to say. Just 1 second. If we could just have a chat, that'd be nice."
Sure.
And he takes you away from the group a little bit, not so far that it's like, let's go stand in the middle of nowhere. It's just a couple of steps away.
Not uncomfortably far away from
Yeah,
my
yeah,
friends.
yeah.
Okay.
And he just kind of says, under his breath, "Listen, I'd heard. I don't know if it's true. I'd heard that maybe Randall had been in the possession of a particularly grim-looking book. If you get my drift."
Oh God, I'm gonna do my absolute best to poker face.
Poker face check.
Poker face check.
That'll be a deception
grim
roll,
book?
please.
Just saying a grim book?
Acting
Question mark? With deception? Okay. I
Acting
do.
the
Thank you,
eyelids.
Grace. Thank you, Grace. Have I ever even rolled deception as nearly? Yeah, I would like to use that D6.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have a +5.
All right. Okay.
Grace, thank you. Definitely trying to be like, grim book?
Okay. Yes. Well, I'd heard of tales of such a tome that perhaps would interest him, and if he did come across it, I would maybe recommend leading him away from such a tome. It's a dark black book, sigils of. I'm not sure if you would be familiar, but an obscure and nefarious deity. Perhaps you've really heard.
Sweating.
I was going to say ignorance would.
Perhaps you've heard nothing of it, and I will impress you further. I just Asimar, like ourselves, should be cautious about such topics. And
Wait, how did you know? Katie laughs, not learning her.
how did I know?
That I'm an ASMR. I didn't know you were one. How do you? Can you just tell?
Like,
I just
didn't,
found
I do
out.
now.
Mask off.
No, I
Stab.
code again.
I
No, I mean, I've been following your exploits for how is it 2-3 years you guys have been adventuring for now?
Yes, it's been a long time.
I mean, it's not unusual that the tales that I've heard have been of a winged healer.
Oh, that's fair. Wait, so have you been having dreams? Are your dreams gone too?
What's it? Amongst the Asimov, that's quite a personal question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I understand that perhaps have you met other Asimov before?
Only the one that tried to kill me.
Oh, someone tried to kill you.
Mm-hmm. We met her in, oh God, what was that place called? Weilun, and there was a temple to Sune, which seemed really suspicious in the first place, because and they were having trouble with their congregation, and it led us to this person called Priestess Code, and she fought us and got away, and then she just showed back up out of nowhere and said that she knew I was in Asimar, and she hadn't been having dreams, and she wanted to apologize, and then she stabbed me, and I almost died.
Oh.
And I think I probably would have died, except...
Did you see her wings?
Yes, they were weird, though. They were different than the first time I saw them. They were like disintegrated, like falling apart, and the like she had, like they were dead wings. And I tried to explain how they looked exactly, and the colors and everything.
That does not sound like an Asimar who is in tune with her heritage. Are you familiar with the Asimar's heritage? I'm not sure how much new ground we're breaking here.
I just learned that we have ties to Celestials, and she kind of like repeats through like what she like explains, like we just went to Liba Aman.
Yeah.
That's why I know I can send you there. I can teleport you
there.
Right. You know, and this is, you know, and then the weapon. I found out that there are weapons that can be specifically made to kill us, maybe she used that, but also maybe not. It's hard to say.
Sure.
It was definitely meant to hurt me very badly.
That's kind of what I was afraid of talking to you. I have no concrete evidence for this, but it feels as if the grimoire that I mentioned that you have never seen before and have no recollection of.
She starts to look a little bit like guilty. She looks a little bit guilty when he says that. Yeah.
May in some way be connected to this, to an organization that is less than friendly to our kind.
It's Shar, isn't it? Shar, isn't it? I know it's Shar.
We don't want to. Maybe I'm, being overly cautious.
Did I not say that?
I prefer not to say her name.
3 times in the mirror.
But it's for you to describe an individual who has a blade like that, whose wings are dead. That is someone who has fallen out of grace with their heritage.
Talking about how the gods were all bad and no one needed gods and all kinds of things, which obviously aren't true.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, I too have not been dreaming. Are you aware of your heritage? Do you know whose blood flows in your veins?
That's not too personal. I was going to ask you. That's not too personal to ask.
I mean, we've crossed a few boundaries already today.
I'm very sorry.
What's a few more?
No. Yes, it's my mother's name. Do you want me to tell you the name of?
Oh, I'm just curious.
She has like this brief moment of like hesitation, and I would just like to not insight check. I want to make sure that there's not illusion magic going on. I don't think I have like detect or anything, but like just like a quick casual like I would like to make sure this is actually Garius Sariel standing in front of me.
All right, okay.
You would like for me to do that.
You can do an insight check to see if this is the person that is matching up with your previous experiences of Garius Sariel and see if you're reading the situation correctly.
Okay. I would like to spend a sorcery point to reroll that.
Sure. Hey, Kanak.
Hi.
I lost. Where am I? Insight. There we are.
And Duke Whiskey.
And then
16, yeah?
yeah, I'm just making sure that one thing is always saving throws, and I am always confused by that, isn't it? Right? Favored by the gods. There it is.
That emote's so good.
Oh my god.
Yeah, saving throw or attack roll. Okay, yeah, so just 16. Just 16.
Okay. Okie dokie. You are confident that this is Garius Sariel.
So like there's that like moment of hesitation, and she like gives them a look over really quick, but not like obviously in just like a little bit of nervous, making sure that I'm safe kind of way. And then she's like, I actually got to talk to my mother, who's named Serafina, and she's the one who's been watching over me. And
The light drains from his face immediately.
Oh no, what's wrong?
This is gonna be crazy.
Oh no, we're related.
Uh,
Shit.
Damn it, you can't date the handsome knight.
Oh no.
Damn it! No, okay, go ahead.
And he kind of extends a hand and puts it on your shoulder and says, well, you are not alone in having not heard from our mother. Sister.
A lot of really complicated emotions going on.
Shit.
Oh
Erase
no!
memories. Erase memories.
So Oro has a chance. So Oro has a chance.
No, so you're saying there's a chance?
Oh my god.
I feel like at first there's like I said, like a wash of complicated emotions over her, but then having found family feels so good that she goes to give him a hug and then stops. Like, I don't know if that's appropriate right now.
I mean, he doesn't stop you, and
he's not sexual in any way.
Happy to have a cuddle if that's what you gonna angle for.
I think once she realizes it's okay.
Sound alert.
I can't hear it, but I can see it. Had family before.
I think you would be surprised at how many family members you have.
Oh, that's really nice.
We tend to keep it fairly quiet, though, as you can probably understand why.
Yeah, especially right now. If it were anyone but you, I probably wouldn't have said who it was.
Listen, I'm elated. I'm elated to have made this realization. I've been following your guys' conquests for so long now, I had no idea. I mean, I hoped, but you can never know.
Yeah, I didn't even know that it was like a common that you could have siblings like that, you know?
Now,
So,
this is going to be a difficult request. I would prefer, given the circumstances, I do trust your comrades very much. But given the circumstances, I would prefer if perhaps you didn't immediately tell them that I was.
I won't tell them. No. Especially not right now.
But I want to give you this. And he leans into his kind of like into it like a saddle bag that's near him. You guys are kind of talking at the other end of the horse. and he palms you something, and he just says, to feel like you've clearly had a found family, but sometimes it's nice to know that your blood is with you too. And in your hand is a feather.
One that has feathers. I don't do that. I don't have any of mine. They always disappear. I'll have to look for them. I give him another hug. And while I'm giving a hug, I whisper, I've definitely seen the book. And I think it's connected to her.
I thought you.
And I don't know what to do.
It's okay. It's okay. Okay.
We're taking very good care of it, and they're not using it.
Listen.
They're scared of it too.
I thought that maybe that was the case. I'm not. I don't know enough about it.
Info dump. I neurodivergently info dump. The moment he says that, the moment I tell him the whole story of like, we found it. There was like an evil wizard. He was making undead things. At first it seemed fine. Then we got stuck in the Feywild and we met that bitch and she was using it. And I don't use the word Shar, but I'm like, and that person we talked about was definitely the one he was trying to get past. Like the whole thing, all of it that I know. I'm so
Haiku
sorry,
would have
Randall.
got rinsed for this. Just saying.
I mean, Garrett, you can see that he is mixed between making you feel heard, making you feel comforted, like you're in the presence of someone who is trying their best to take in everything that you're giving right now, whilst not making you feel like you're in an uncomfortable situation, whilst also trying desperately to retain all of the information that you've just dumped on him all at once. And he, you're still having a quiet conversation, and he just says, "Okay, so what you're telling me is that he is resisting the effects of an individual as let's say controversial as that individual, and I consider that a very positive thing. It sounds to me like Randall is in a position where there's no easy out. I wish that I had a solution for the scenario that you find yourself in and that Randall finds himself in. But I don't.
Maybe we can just keep it safe for now and keep it away from the other items, because it seems to be a different kind of conduit. That's the point at which I mentioned how it drained all the information out of the book tree in the Feywild.
I think whilst I would love to have all of these nefarious artifacts locked away in some deep dungeon that no one can access, I think maybe Randall's a good person to keep it safe. And you guys are doing your best.
I was really worried about it at first as soon as we found out who it was tied to, but my very first conversation with Randall, he was already put off from it and didn't want to have anything to do with it anymore. So
that's excellent. Hey, we're on the right track. That's amazing. I would love to dedicate all my time to researching how to get him out of this situation, but unfortunately I have my own duties. I'm sure you're all on the lookout. I have one more thing to discuss with you, and we haven't discussed this in great detail, so I'm going out on a limb here, and I don't know if it's true, so I'd like for you to tell me. Now, 1 second, I need to refer to my notes.
Absolutely.
Darius gets out a book.
Is Oro single?
Come on. Come on.
Plot twist, it's like, is Randall single?
Oh, why is it always about Randall? Give Oro some more.
It's about the stupid sexy book.
Hey.
Sexy book. Stupid sexy book. Oh.
Randall and Darius puddling with the grimoire between the two of them.
You guys chat amongst yourselves whilst I try to find this thing.
Read the chat and I love it. A feather! It's only because he felt so safe. And she's like, help us save Randall. That's what it was.
He says, the dragon that massacred so many did so in the home of a community named the Enclave of the Apogee. Now, I don't know for certain, but that sounds an awful lot like the community that I've heard rumors about having links to you. Now, I don't know if that's true.
I don't think I gave it a name.
I did.
Did I give it a... You did, okay. Okay. I was like, oh, I think I might have left it open for you. So Nerly would love to be like, oh my god, that's totally their name. But then is like, I don't know. What mountains were they in? Or what cave? Mountain cave? Was it a mountain cave?
It was a mountain cave in the Stormhall.
Or a cave mountain.
Just north of Minro.
That sounds like it, right?
Oh yeah, no, it's 100%.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that definitely sounds like them. And she does like a non-info dump version of always lived there, didn't know where it came from, left when I knew they were gonna kill me, didn't know why they were gonna kill me. Why does everybody want to kill me? I didn't do anything. I swear I didn't do anything.
Okay. I just wanted to let you know because they weren't there when it happened. They were wintering.
Right, they were in the forest. Well, sure.
I've since met some members of that organization who have explained their connection to you.
Was it Patricia?
It was not.
Uh-oh. Are they still looking for me?
I believe their primary goal at the moment is survival, as their previous lair was occupied, and still is occupied, by a very angry dragon.
Oh no.
At least, I think some of them just don't know that maybe everything that they're being taught isn't true. I still don't even know which parts are and aren't, for the most part, I think, but do you think that somebody summoned the dragon, or do you think it was
I don't know. I returned to the site to discuss, to do some reconnaissance, and was met by some members of the Enclave.
And they just volunteered that they knew me?
I mean, they seemed hell-bent on searching for you. They asked me if I would find you, which of course I declined. I don't know what their deal is, honestly, and it makes me deeply discomforted knowing of your heritage, knowing that you're an Asimar, that perhaps that is why they were planning on killing me.
I think I learned a little bit in Liba Amans about how people might use like the death of an Asimar for like a source of power or something like that.
Sure.
I think it was really like minimal information, so I'll just mention specifically, trying not to say anything I didn't actually learn. just kind of, well, I learned that they were going to kill me and that's why I left, and then when I was looking into stuff, I found out that sometimes people use that as like part of a ceremony for power or something.
So it says, not forgotten that several religious sects across the cultures have sought to make and succeeded in producing weapons, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah. I missed the circus. Things are simpler then.
Yeah, therefore, by killing that Asimar, they return a bit of that celestial energy to the god.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's, really what they were trying to do, kind of thing.
That sounds feasibly within their wheelhouse. They offered me the usual adventurer's fee, which is not really me. I'm not really an adventurer.
Right.
They made me feel sick. And I left.
Right.
All I can say is that dragon still roams. And in the year since I spoke to you about it last, we have not found enough adventurers to tackle it again. And it's becoming more and more of a menace. People have described it as having a trail of inky darkness behind its shadow in the sky.
Sigh.
Don't sigh at things your DM has carefully crafted for you. You have any idea how hard it is to design this fucking story? Fucking sigh.
He cannot
Critical
remember.
hit against DM.
I don't think we've told too many people about what we've learned about Caspian and the whole like being erased thing.
Nope.
Like this is the point at which does she just tell him again, or does she? Okay, yeah, I think at this point she would just tell him again.
Well,
like just like
broken the seal
the
already,
sword
haven't
we
we?
gave- yeah, right, yeah. Like the thing that we fought that we found that sword at, it was covered in inky stuff. We keep finding things stuck in time loops, surrounded by inky stuff. Caspian's been disappeared. Atticus disappeared. They keep saying things are going to be forgotten. That seems connected. That's what Priestess Code said to me.
Oh. Do you think there's any way that us not hearing or dreaming is connected to that?
Maybe. I don't know what all Caspian might have been involved with, but if at least I am now part of it, maybe Caspian was also an Asimar? Maybe Caspian. I know Caspian was. Oh my god. I know Caspian was a paladin to Selene, so
That we have in common.
I kind of thought that might be the case. Well, now in the last few minutes, I
Did I not make it clear? And he pulls out a necklace that's underneath his armor, his plate mail, and you can see that he's got an image of the holy symbol of Selene.
You know, it's been really. A lot has happened. You probably did, and I've just had a lot happen. It could be that and it's like she says she, like, not Shar. I'm not saying the name.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is trying to erase Elene from existence.
And you said, do you tell him that about Ludamira? Your stories?
Oh yeah. That came up crucially during the grimoire.
Sure.
That was related to Shar, and that's like I think when she said it again that he was like, okay, we don't say the name, and so now she's like,
okay,
she who cannot be spoken,
yeah,
sort of thing.
That maybe aligns with what Ludamira was doing in the Feywild. You said that she was trying to replace Selene? Some kind of ritual?
Maybe she was talking about how she deserved more. And it definitely seemed like some sort of attaining more power rising. Maybe she was trying to take Selene.
Which,
power.
remember, I'm not playing a bard.
I don't have any more answers for this. And unfortunately, I must say that even now, I am on a rush. To the degree where I had to ride past Weymouth, and they are in a pickle. You'll see.
Okay.
You'll be well equipped to help them, I'm certain.
Okay.
Haiku's eyes roll out of his head.
We were going to come help with the dragon. We just got trapped in the Feywild for a long time.
I will forever mourn the dead that I was not there to help. But we must think perhaps there is more that can be done now.
Selene kept us away from there because that was an encounter that we wouldn't have been prepared for.
Perhaps. No, I'm afraid.
Okay, I should send you to the library now. Mm-hmm.
Let's let me say goodbye to your comrade.
Of course.
And he comes up to you. Friends,
the horse has a leather jacket on. We've like teached it like multiple tricks to do in the meantime.
It swears now.
It knows multiple circus words.
You've hopped it all up on caffeine and sugar. It's like all ready to go.
Bionic
it's like
now.
you get like
Haiku's been tinkering up to the horse.
It's got 8 legs now.
It's like when you do babysitting, where you give the kid back, and they're like.
Did you give him any candy? No, definitely not.
Okay, Stout. Let's thank you very much for taking care of him. I'm sorry to have sidetracked you for so long. Nurili and I had some catching up to do. I'd heard there was a winged healer in Deadlock, and I wanted to hear all about what happened in there.
Oh.
Now, Nurili has very generously offered to teleport me to the Liber Aman's monastery. You want me to say anything to Master Kulth for you, Randall?
No.
Fuck that guy.
A crisp high five.
Yeah.
I love the idea of people having backstories that are untouchable to me because they simply don't give a fuck about the NPCs. I don't care what the fuck happens to Master Kulth, yeah.
Say hi.
Right,
Like, I'm still
I guess
here.
he's like my mentor or whatever. I guess you can just like tell him I said hi.
Sure.
Okay. You sort of like kicked me out of the monastery, you know? Really.
Okay, not kicked you out like you have to leave forever. Kicked you out like you need to go learn some stories, right?
I guess.
I guess.
Well, It's been a pleasure seeing each of you again. Truly. It'd been so long since I heard from you. I'd fear the worst. But you're back. You're here. Not in the Feywild anymore.
Thank God.
Cornmill will be all the better for it. I'm certain I'll hear from more of you. And I say, once again, if you find yourself in Suzale, you know where to find me.
Will do.
And we hopefully won't
Probably.
get trapped in another plane of existence for a year, so we can't come say hi.
I'm confident that
That'll be
won't
good.
happen.
I mean, I barely know this guy. We haven't had a chance to bond yet.
I haven't swooned over him enough.
Oh, you will.
He flicks his hair and he looks into the sky. No, he gets atop his warhorse stout and says, "Nearly, is my horse gonna arrive in one piece in the teleportation circle in the monastery, or should I stand astride him? I'm gonna bump my head."
He should be fine. Let me try to remember. She takes a second to remember what the room looked like. Would it be tall enough to accommodate him sitting on the horse?
Depends on where it was. Let's say that it was in the uppermost reaches of the library where that spooky book was in your dream. Probably not large enough for a horse. Also, would have to come down the stairs. So he's going to have a difficult time regardless. But maybe he doesn't need to know that just now.
I'll explain that he probably will want to stand next to the horse, and also there will be
Certainly.
stairs. Can Scout handle stairs?
Stout can handle stairs.
Okay, good. So I take all my supplies and draw the stuff out that I have to draw, because I think that's part of casting it, is you have to. It takes a minute. I draw a 10-foot diameter circle, and right before I finish the spell, I'm going to quietly. I'll be telling him where to stand and all this stuff, and I'll quietly ask. So, I won't say anything about the stuff we talked about, but can I tell them that we're related?
Certainly.
Okay. What should I say about that? What would you be comfortable with me saying?
I trust your judgment.
Okay. Thank you.
We will see each
Finish
other again
drawing.
soon, I hope.
Yeah, I hope so. That's my plan. And I'll finish drawing this stuff, and I'll just give him this is what the room will look like. You should show up somewhere within a 5-foot radius of this space, and then there will be X number of stairs, yada yada. And just let me know when you're ready, and I'll finish.
I'm ready.
I finish Shimmering Portal.
Hi, Garius.
He's
Bye.
gone.
Bye.
Garrus, Sariel, and Stout disappear into the ether.
Becoming Garius Stout.
Oh my god. A horse with a man's head and a man with a horse's head.
Aura writes that down as fan fiction.
Oh god, that would make it better. Oh no!
Wait, what? Wait, what is the fan fiction?
Half a man, half a horse. Hybrid.
Only one body part is swapped.
Flied themselves, human flied themselves.
Oh my god, only one body part swapped. Fucking hell.
As soon as the spell is over
Uh-huh.
and Garius has been teleported, she just kind of looks really guilty and looks back at Randall and is like, he already knew about the book. She starts crying.
Oh no.
That's all she says at first, though. And then
What did he know about the book?
Yeah, what does
he
he know
knew
about
that
that?
we had it, and he knew about. He said it was definitely evil, and it was connected to something evil, and he didn't know everything that we knew, although he knows now. I'm sorry. And...
Why do we have it? Get rid of it!
Can I just get rid of it?
I'm sure we find a river somewhere, just toss it in.
No, it's not
Well,
just a thing you
no.
can throw away.
The problem is, first of all, anyone could find that, and they could be somebody who would also like to, I don't know, murder Selene and take her place. But also, it's like it made itself tied to Randall, and we don't know what could happen to Randall if he just discards it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's never easy, is it?
Exactly.
Also, apparently, Garius is like my long lost brother or something.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Nerly.
Haiku nudges Oro.
Yeah, there was a lot to process when it came to that information, but it's really nice to know that I have family. Not that you all aren't my family, because you are, but you know.
Yeah, I get it.
Is everyone related to someone? Because Randall's related to that dragon somehow.
Yeah.
Let's not forget you've got a cousin.
Because it's not the dragon we're trying to kill, come to think of it.
Nearly gave access to HBA VODs. And the dragon is still there, and it's actually in where I used to live. It took up residence apparently in the cave that the Enclave lived in, and it's inky and stuff too.
Inky. Oh no.
Oh no.
Wait, and
No,
you
good
okay?
when
Do
it's-
you want to go back there?
You know, it killed everyone else that went there before, and Gary has said that Weymute had problems that he wished he could have helped with, but was sure that we could help with, so we might not. Maybe it's not yet time to go confront the dragon that killed all the other people who showed up.
Okay.
But
So
what
does-
you're saying is, if we hadn't have gone to the Feywild, we might have died.
Or we might have saved a bunch of people.
Or we might have saved a bunch of
I
people.
was hoping to try to feel a little better, Randall, but okay.
Oh, sorry. Randall's
really
not very
our
good at
fault.
social cues.
Wait, so if you and Garius are related, does that mean he also has wings?
Specify everything about how we were related. It was more like I found this
He
out.
did give you a feather.
Yeah, I know, but she also promised not to
Okay.
tell them that.
Right.
And so her way of saying, he didn't say he had wings,
He might
because that
have
would give
them.
him away, right? So
Sure.
didn't
I mean, he did
specify
say
everything.
he was an Asimo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't know that.
No, I don't. But I know that.
Said he was an Asimar and he gave me a feather. But what I'm saying is he didn't specify everything. He just found it out.
Just because they're
I
relatives
believe him.
don't mean they're the same. I mean, look at me and Chiasmus. She hasn't got any legs and I do.
Oh my god.
Right, but she lost hers to a magic curse.
She
You
did
start
have
off with
them
legs.
though.
I'm trying to emphasize a
What's your
point.
intelligence modifier?
Where relatives
What's your,
aren't
no, what's your
necessarily
wisdom
the same.
modifier?
That's what it is. Yeah, I mean,
My relatives are raised and I'm still here.
I don't know who my relatives are.
resisting the urge to be like, maybe you're our sister too. Ruin all of Oro's plans.
Or tries to like pop wings out of her back.
Surely Oro will be trying to keep the wings in at this point now.
I mean, worth a shot. Who have wings?
They could be bat
It would be
wings.
better to know, so to avoid a Star Wars situation. You hang out with your brother and then pretend it didn't happen. I don't know everything, but yeah. Book's very dangerous. He said I told him that you were immediately not wanting to use it or associate with it after we found out about it, and he said he trusted us to keep it safe. Well, he trusted us with it. I don't remember if he actually said to keep it safe, but that's the gist, I think, of what he was saying.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, and also the Enclave, even though their home was lost to the dragon and they can't go back, when he met them, they tried to hire him to find me.
Oh.
And are still very much hunting me, apparently. So, to
Right.
answer your question, Haiku, at least them, and apparently a lot, and with much gusto.
Surprisingly, it makes me feel better knowing that someone is out there looking for us. You know, it's better than not knowing.
Sure. Yeah.
Is that because that's related to Haiku's love language? Being known.
Being known. Also, we probably shouldn't say, and she points at the grimoire, and she's like, the name of that particular goddess, according to Garius. We shouldn't say it out loud.
Oh.
You suspect that an element of that is superstition on his part.
Mm-hmm. And that might just be superstition, but I don't know. It just makes me feel better to maybe not do it too.
I've already forgotten it anyways.
Good. I'm sorry. And she starts crying again. 'Cause she knows she just like gave so much information away.
Oh, this is only Garius.
Yeah, I've given more away, really. You don't need to be upset about it. And I've
do you
also
mean you-
given it away to people who I don't know.
That's true.
So, I mean, you know, you did find out that you are related, so I don't see an issue with that.
Yeah, I already trusted him, and I found out that we're related, and also he's a paladin for Seline, and there's just, it feels like he's safe.
And really hot. And I already turns around. Let's go move
A lot of
on.
things that I've had to process. So I'm really trying hard not to think about that.
So,
Just Randall and Haiku stood there while this interaction goes on.
You two see it, don't lie. Right?
No.
No?
Listen, they can't talk about it because they're in love. It's not been...
Oh.
They're hiding their secret romance from us, so they can't talk about being attracted to Garius one way or the other.
Yeah, it's actually going to be more awkward if you found out we're related.
Wait, does that mean I have a shell or you don't have a shell?
Oh my
Maybe
God.
we're meant to share the same shell.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Barry White starts playing in the background.
I think we should start walking towards Weymouth.
Yeah,
Hurriedly.
let's go.
Early wins. We can now do the weekly recaps. Info
Okay.
dumping.
Yeah,
I love
I
it.
think we're all getting a little tired, a little delirious.
Well, I'm fine. You not?
You're not
Fine.
fine?
Aro didn't get that social cue.
Yeah. We're all just a bunch of undiagnosed neurodivergents.
They were shell
Oh my
mates.
god, they were shellmates. They were shellmates.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I can't remember if there was anything else Gary has said that I forgot to share. I think that was pretty much it. That was the gist of it. That I'm allowed to say. Anyway.
Did he ask us to do anything? You know, give us a quest. That's usually what he does, is it not?
No. No point has he given you any quests. He's generally said,
Actually-
there's a dragon trying to fuck everything up. If you
I've
want
only
to
met
deal with
this
that, that'd
person
be good."
once.
And he didn't give you a
Yeah.
quest. In fact, he gave you the hush money. Like...
In my experience, Gariel doesn't really send us off to do much. He's actually accepted quests from us, in a way, if you think about the sword, you know?
Oh. So he's quite independent.
He's really
That's
important.
I like a person. I like an independent person.
Wow.
Seems like
Well,
maybe
Haiku
you
crush
did
starts.
notice. Yeah, uh-huh.
Oh, Haiku definitely
That's,
noticed.
that's all it was. It literally was not going to matter what they looked like, who they were, how they identified. None of that mattered. All it was that they didn't need anything from Haiku. In
All I'm
love
saying
instantly.
is,
First person
Haiku
does
gave
the
them that sword originally.
Oh yeah, the giving thing. Oh, the love language of gift
no,
giving.
no.
They're totally related.
Oh.
But not related like Garius and narrowly are related.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we
Oh,
want
and I
to?
think all I was gonna say was like he didn't technically give us a quest, but he did mention that there were problems in Weymouth and that we would be capable of handling them. So while it wasn't like sending us out there, it was definitely like something's going on.
I was like
FYI.
subtly giving us a quest.
As in the
Just
place
letting
you're
us
about
know.
to go through anyway is
Yeah.
going through some shit, and you'll have to probably deal with it. I didn't have time to. I'm on a quest from the king.
Hey, if we just kept our heads down and walked through, we might have ignored it.
Do it, yeah.
Kept our heads down and walked through. We might just.
I mean, it's the place that you want to go for the speedrun tournament.
That's true.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we were literally going there, and we're gonna end up in the town, like poking about, seeing what was what anyway. So.
Yeah.
So now we just have the heads up, and we can prepare. And I'll make sure to comfy up every dinner so that we have extra hit points.
Yay.
Comfy up every meal, whatever.
How do
What's
we even begin to deal with a dragon if they've already killed that many people? We're just 5 people.
5
yeah, I
pretty
don't
cool
think-
people.
I don't think the problem in Winloot has anything to do with the dragon, because that's closer to Nesmith.
Oh, okay.
That's in the Stormhorn Mountains. I can't get
Stormhorn
stupid
Mountains.
Roll20.
It's not closer to Nesmith.
Oh, is it not closer
So you
to
can
Nesmith than
so you can even see on the map. You see those green blobs I drew a million years ago?
Yeah. The problem about being on the map is that Roll20 switched their stupid scroll bars, and now it's too small for me to touch. Okay, where ping for me again, please? Stormhorns. Oh, actually, it is right here next to us.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I drew those green dots to indicate to you a million years ago that one of those is the hill cave that your enclave lived in, and the other one was the winter retreat.
I don't have any green dots.
Oh,
I
yes,
do
the green
not
dots.
have any green dots either.
Oh, these guys
They
have been
might
on the
be on
GM
the-
layer the whole time?
Yeah, I think they
hilarious.
have been.
Oh,
No
maybe I
wonder
did
we
it.
don't know what we're doing.
I probably did that on purpose, to be fair.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
At the
Oh,
time,
wow,
it was
yeah, we-
probably on purpose.
Oh yeah, we traveled. I don't even remember where Nesmith is anymore, honestly. But I remember
right.
it. We were going far enough away, hopefully, for it to be safe. So it makes sense that we're actually closer now. We were before. So retcon, doodle-doo, time weighing or whatever.
Yeah, you did it. Yeah.
Yeah. Stormhorn Mountains. I'll kind of generally describe, like latitudinally pretty similar to Weymouth, but obviously in the mountains. Yeah, we're really close to where they spend a lot of time. You know, that's kind of why gestures at nondescript clothing. I mean, she still looks like Nurly, but you know, it's too hot for the whole hood and all that get up stuff.
Well, whilst we're like walking there, I want to ask Nurly what the people looked like from where she's from, just to like so we have an idea of like if we're supposed to look for someone who's an orc with bright pink hair. I don't know, you know, something like.
That's a
whatever.
great question.
Sure.
That's a great
All
question.
right. So these are things that I set up before the session ever started. I will explain. I will, out of character, give.
You've got the
explanations.
fucking document.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
You've asked the question that gets the document open.
It is. So, under relevant NPCs, Major, Elder Tormorel is a male high elf who is stern and serious and led her studies alongside Elder Gariel, who is a human man, less serious and less stern-faced. Elder Loralia is a half-elven woman who knows about magic, because that's who helped her magic training. And then devotee Kalisha is a tiefling with pale white skin, and she was where she learned her weaving from. And then there was devotee Rathvas, who's a human male, who hated her. He was a quartermaster. Devotee Nilopia is a halfling woman who is distant but nice and was the cook. Devotee Iparios is a gnomish male who led the devotions, who was kind of neutral to her.
Getting some
Arisen
insight
Arlane.
into Katie's backstory generation,
Uh-huh.
and the massive wall of text that I got whilst I'm still preparing this campaign from the session 0,
Yeah.
which, by the way, love. I think every DM that you probably ever play with is elated by receiving this info done for background stuff.
Really love
Well, what I
doing,
will
like-
say is for the people that I look that maybe are writing down everything that you say, it might be
I'll
nice to just
copy it.
copy and paste it.
Yeah, I will copy and paste it for you so you don't have to write it down, but I wanted to read it so that chat could have the
Yes, yeah,
benefit
yeah.
of
Oh,
understanding.
I've been
you know.
writing mine down in a haiku way,
Yeah,
Wow.
so
same.
that they
Would
will
have
Right.
almost certainly be misidentifying everyone they come across.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Arisen Arlane is a tiefling, non-binary person who led the music. Arisen Singu is a half-orc male who worked in the kitchen and helped with Kalisha. Y'all all met Priscilla, who is the wood elf, who was like the huntress, who she found us in. Was it in Nesmith that she found us, and then we went to the place with
Yeah.
the werebears
Yeah.
or whatever.
Mhm.
And then there's Osmond, who's a human male who was like an ex-soldier who led, like, teaching everyone self-defense and combat tactics. So there are a good few people who do have like some skill with magic or a blade or whatever. And she's given the like rundowns of what they look like and stuff. And I'll just copy this over into our wall. There you go.
Okay, so every male high elf, human man, high elf woman, pale tiefling, halfling, gnomish man, non-binary tiefling, half orc and wood elf. Keep your eyes peeled. Keep
Randall's
gives,
seen
like,
one before, right?
Rough physical descriptions.
Mm.
Everyone has seen Priscilla. I don't know if you've seen. I think there might have been
But
someone else we saw at No Smith.
There
too, but
was, because
forget who it was.
we were staying somewhere, and they like someone came in the night in like a grey robe. 100% this happened.
That
I think it
sounds
was a great robe.
familiar, and I think you were by yourself and just like listened to them, but I don't remember if it was specified. I think maybe you wouldn't have known who it was. You just recognized the iconography, but maybe now with the descriptions you would.
Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, I don't think Randall knew exactly who it was, but you're given like a description of like their iconography and robes and.
Mm-hmm.
I have no
Us
idea
all
what that was.
looking at Tom like, does this ring a bell
Nope.
for Randall? Nope. Okay.
No bells ringing here, but you know, I'm not the best at taking my own notes. So
Yeah, grey or blue and rustic clothing was what I wrote down.
when was this?
Well, that was just what Nurali told us. This was
We
in
went to the graveyard.
episode 30, 31, or 32, apparently.
Oh my god!
Jesus.
Roughly
It was a while
million
ago.
years ago.
Good note taking. That must have happened BH before haiku.
Yeah.
So, as in, you're saying that you saw someone but didn't interact with them? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we were staying somewhere for the night and we were taking watches for some reason.
Okay.
And I remember, I'm pretty sure that either Nurali or Randall spotted someone who matched the description, but we didn't like do anything.
It's possible. They've been looking after you looking out for you for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And it's entirely
it-
possible that I threw some in around the time of Priscilla.
It's also possible that they would have made new recruits, so
Yeah.
Big time.
stopped taking good notes on session 28, so wow, just missed out on that
Just-
introduction.
Yeah, just shy.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go look at the fucking VOD. JK, I do not have the energy to do that.
Hey, that might not even be the right one because I tried to find some things in some other VODs and my notes do not line up with them. I also have a big note that says something like episode numbers are wrong somewhere before this point.
Oh no. So,
I love that.
So
What is today's episode? 60.
we
I don't know
started in
because it's changed to season 2,
Season
episode
2.
3.
Season 2, episode 5 or something, isn't it?
I see.
Which completely messed me up when I was looking because I'm like, well, this is episode 90 something, and then I had to work it out. Like,
I'm gonna try to start doing that. Season 2, episode.
It's the problem
what
where
is it?
you
5.
drop lore so infrequently, and you drag your campaign story out so long that all the lore is interspersed.
Maybe I remember this from
So
4
rarely.
years ago. A moment. Okay. We walking or
I'm ready when you guys are. I am patiently waiting for
Ready.
you to be
let's
ready.
go.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Me
figured we
walking,
started
walking.
walking when we were.
Oh, yeah,
having
no,
this
you've been walking. Yeah,
conversation.
you've been walking.
So yeah.
Okay, fab. Okay, fab. So, finally, as the evening turns to, well, late evening, you arrive at Weymouth. Now, Weymouth, how many of you guys are like super familiar with Cormier? Haiku's been around a bit.
Haiku would definitely be familiar. Jack isn't.
Right, okay. Oro has traveled around a bit with the circus, but maybe not here. Randall would know stuff from book things, but not really having gone out here ever before. Now, Nurali, is it feasible that you came through Weymouth when you were escaping the Enclave?
Yeah, I think especially because Daenerys is like a merchant, so she would have been like probably going on her normal routes that she knew was safe.
Is it possible that you were tucked away somewhere, not seeing your surroundings?
If we were in the city, absolutely.
Okay. So then I'll give Haiku. Maybe you're already familiar with it then.
I think at most she would have been like in like the covered sort of wagon kind of thing, and would maybe have been able to like peek out if she felt brave enough.
Yeah.
But that would have been the most of it.
Okay. So Weymouth is a small town, and when I say small, it doesn't fully cover what I'm trying to describe here. The majority of the buildings here are multi-story. They are rammed close together. There are loads and loads of houses, loads of buildings with very small gaps between them. The streets are extremely narrow. The buildings are very tall. Because this is still in the dense part of the forest, so there are trees poking their way between all of the buildings. This is a crucial crossroads at this part of the King's Forest, where a huge amount of, not the majority of the like trade routes, etc., go from Suzale into Hilp and Immersey, as opposed to going through Weymouth. But this is the kind of like the next best thing. So a lot of thoroughfare comes through here, and it's usually quite a lively, bustling town. It's got a lot of character. It's a bit unusual, and let's say the one time that you were here previously, Haiku, you bumped into I think the first kind of group that you sat down next to in the tavern here consisted of a centaur, a kobold, and a goblin. Like the less common folk tend to gravitate to Weymouth, and that's not. Sorry,
back in the
day. But in this instance, it is a very bizarre sight. Not because of the way that it's built, but because everyone that you see so far is sat on the rooftops. There are deck chairs. There are what looks like bedding that's been laid out up there as well. You can see some boxes with some fruit and other food sources in them. And you can see that there are like wooden platforms that have been made between the roofs, like the rooftops. You can't see anybody below the roof. So you guys are walking on, otherwise the main path into the town, and this is the site that you see. You see these 3-4-story houses. You can see signs dangling off the front that are kind of flapping in the air. You see people sat on all the roofs because you kind of like a slight kind of incline downwards as you decline, I guess, as you see the individuals on the roof, and you start to go a little bit further down into town before you notice that there is a thick substance that is maybe 6 feet high off of the floor across the entire ground of the entire town. It's really difficult to see because we are transitioning here from like evening into nighttime, or this dusk vibe where the lighting is a bit poor, but you just about catch a glimmer of light off of the surface of this extremely thick goop that is lining the street.
Can we tell what colour it is, or is it too dark?
The lighting's not fantastic. It looks like a kind of sickly green-grey.
And it definitely wasn't like this the last time Haiku was there.
No. But I mean, it's been a while, but no.
I mean, that's a pretty big change.
It is a big change, yes.
This wasn't here the last time I was in Weymouth. I don't know if any of you have been recently, or at all. But I don't remember this.
You are muted, Katie. Hey, it's first time this game and it's almost the end.
I know, right? I didn't see much, but I was definitely in a car traveling on a road through the place, so I don't think all of that would have been there. I feel like I would have known.
Are people around us right now, like above?
As you get closer and you start seeing this, you can see the tops of people's heads, basically. These are really tall buildings, so you know they're up there. You saw them as you were coming in, but now you're a little bit closer to the buildings. You can't quite see them. You know that they're up there. You can kind of hear them chattering.
Hello, excuse me. What's the deal with the goop?
Huh?
What's the deal with the goop?
What?
What is it?
The goop scoop.
An old lady teeters to the edge of the rooftop.
Careful.
Nugget, get ready.
It's Goop. Goop has eaten the town.
Since when?
Yeah, we're actually calling it goop.
Well, maybe a day, 2 days.
Oh.
I think it's that Jared little wand. It's not the only thing that's little about him, I'm sure. His competence.
Who's he?
Competence.
He's the resident war wizard apprentice. He's fucked it all up. Look, goop everywhere.
Well, where is it?
What was his name?
Jared Little Wand, the little shit.
Was it Little Wand? Okay.
Yeah, Little Wand.
Okay.
Should we be up there with you?
I wouldn't be down there, not with me.
Is it dangerous?
Listen, when you've lived in a world surrounded by mysteries and magic for long enough, you start to doubt whether goop is good for you, and you distance yourself from it whenever you see it.
Yeah.
You stay away from the goop.
Before.
You've dabbled with goop.
It was a mixed bag.
No.
Maybe it's harmless, Randall. Maybe we should give it a go.
Not right now. No. It's been a long day.
It's dissolved any organic matter down there.
We need to get onto the roofs.
Yeah. How do we
with
get
that,
up?
we'll end our session, shall we?
Okay.
We'll end our session there. And you can deal with Goop Town next time.
Goop Town.
Goopton.
What was his
Goopton
name? What
upon
little
Goop.
wand?
Jared.
Jared.
And I put in
Jared
brackets,
Little One.
the little shit.
Right, well, there at the end of our session, we've had a bunch of lore drops that took a little bit longer than I expected. I'm sorry. I probably could have guessed that it would have been quite a significant lore drop. What with you guys
Big
being
lore.
related, but what I'm doing is I'm dropping all the lore
Yeah.
so that
Dropping
we
it
can
like it's
get
hot.
into the tasty story bits.
Oh.
None of
I
this
will-
last season stuff. No season 1 slow drips of lore. No, we're going full on lore dump right from
We're
the
worried
get-go.
that season 3 is going to be cancelled by Netflix, so we're getting it all out
Gotta
there.
get it all out now. Yeah, exactly.
Wise
Well, by
time.
that logic, we've got to make it as shit as possible, then it won't get cancelled.
Dang.
Started
I-
rewatching Santa Clarita Diet recently, and I'm really sad it got cancelled. So good.
Oh. I saw a thing somewhere that said that like they started enticing actors and other staff by saying, "Sure, yeah, come make this show." And first season, nobody's going to be paid too much. We're going to keep it kind of low, but then with each season, as long as popularity stays up, we'll have they presented this like increased tiered pay scale. So they're purposely canceling things after a couple of seasons because that way they don't have to pay people the money that they were like,
Assholes.
enticing them with.
Capitalism. We're escaping
Yeah,
that today.
capitalism.
We're staying away from capitalism.
Yeah, instead of capitalism, we made sure to entice Oro's dreams about Gary Serial and crush Nerly's dreams about Gary.
Yeah.
She hadn't been having dreams about him. She hasn't been having dreams about anything. But
Well, there we are, folks. There we are. Big lore dumps. And
yeah, I loved it.
crushed dreams. Alright.
Right, we should be here
That's
next
that.
week, next Sunday. So see you then. Oh, okay. Thanks for the 2 gifted subs there. Appreciate it.
That's very
Okay, you. I'll see you in the week when I stream normally, but we'll see you for D&D on Sunday.
Yeah.
Bye.
Goodbye.